let out of jail. How did that happen? How the hell did Bill Cosby get out of jail? I don't know. Well, actually, I do know because I did the research, and that's why we're here to tell you how Bill Cosby got out of jail. Plus, we have Britney Spears' update. We were talking about it Tuesday, and we already have a result today. Oh, my goodness. And Disney, in all its glory, is changing the name of Boba Fett's ship from Slave One to, wait for it, Boba Fett's ship. But first, we're going to talk about Loki. And, you know, we got a lot of other stuff to talk about, too. And it is going to be a jammed-packed episode. Lots of controversial topics, but we do not stay away from controversy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jivin with Jack. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and genders of all ages, to today's edition of Jivin' with Jack. You know, yesterday, Austin, I was like, man, we talked about Britney Spears, we talked about Fastlane. What the hell are we going to talk about today? And my dad walks in, and he's like, hey. Bill Cosby's not in jail. And he lives a mile and a half away from me. We're going to get to Bill Cosby. We're going to talk about Loki.
Bill Cosby lives a mile and a half away from you?
Oh, I see.
Have you ever run into or encountered Bill Cosby?
No, he lives in a compound. So I'm near the outskirts of the city, and there's a really big compound with like a gate and everything, you know. But that's his house. Wow. And Montgomery County, which is the one who let him go. Well, Montgomery County prosecuted Bill Cosby, but it was the Supreme Court who let him go. It is so messed up. Really, two horrible things have happened in the world of the legal system. But first, Austin, I forgot to let you say hi. Say hi to the people.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Good to see you, Jack. Good to see everybody in the comments. What is up? Good to be here. We got a lot of talk. We got we got a lot of talk to do.
The Jello Pudding.
Oh, you put the Jello with the pudding and it's even better. Oh my God. So we got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, we got Cosby. We got Britney. We got Loki. Hey, that all rhymes. Cosby, Britney, Loki. I'm going to start a rap. But I did want to also say, because before, obviously, guys, we try and get all the news for the day in the description so you guys know what the show is about, so you guys can jump in. Make sure and invite your friends, like the show. Let everybody know about Jivin' with Jack, guys. We're here for you. We do it for you. We want this to be a fun show, and if you guys have any suggestions, anything you want us to talk about, any skit ideas, anything at all, guys, if you want me to, do some random crazy stuff, I'll film it and do it. We'll do something funny. Let us know. Get in the comments and engage with us. But I did want to say one thing while after we already set up the YouTube and already set up the description, it did get announced that the Trump organization is being charged with tax fraud.
Really?
The Trump organization has officially been charged, as well as the main head of the Trump organization, not Trump himself, but the guy that runs it has been charged with tax fraud and grand larceny for a 16-year scheme of collecting tax returns that he should not have been collecting, falsifying documents, and so forth. So things are starting to heat up there, folks. We'll be keeping you updated as to.
Wow, I just want to say these are all lies. It's all fabricated. Okay.
I just want to say I have never done anything wrong in my entire life. Okay, I can promise you right now, they're liars. It's all fake news. Every dollar that I have is mine. Okay, it's mine. Nobody else's. Hers, mine. Okay. What's up, everyone? Yeah, real quick shout out everyone in the chat.
Ambassadorial Wing.
New media, Ryan Rivera. Always good to see Ryan. We love Ryan.
Oh, Ryan, real quick, we actually had a Bill Cosby sketch but we didn't have enough time to upload it. But we can say it for we probably would have gotten in a lot of trouble. But that was kind of the point. We kind of filmed it impromptu.
It might have been a little edgy, but
very edgy.
Yeah. But yeah, Cosby is out, man. Cosby is out. Yesterday, he was officially released.
Yeah.
The court overturned the decision. He ended up serving 3 of his 5. Was it supposed to be 5 years, I believe?
10 years.
10 years. 3 of his 10 years. So he was officially released yesterday, and he was with some family, and obviously a lot of outrage on Twitter. A lot of people just really surprised and shocked. I was pretty surprised. I was like, "How did this dude get out?"
too. So this is crazy. You know, for those of you who are too young to know what a big deal Cosby was. So if All in the Family was a show of the 70s and Seinfeld and Friends were the shows of the 90s and 2000s, then the Cosby Show was the sitcom of the 80s. It was the number one sitcom.
Absolutely.
And it was a huge deal because it was an African-American show on network TV. You know, it wasn't UPN, which didn't exist back then. It wasn't like BET. No, it was a network TV show. It was on, I think, CBS or NBC. And it ran for like, I think, 8 years. And what was interesting about it was part of what was the selling point was that here was an African-American couple that were not stereotyped. The husband was a doctor. The wife was a high-powered attorney. You know, he was, you have to admit it, at the time, and for the longest time after that, a huge American icon. And then all of a sudden, these stories started coming out that he does some weird stuff. Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna grab some puffin to listen to this. Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
No, some pudding.
Some pudding.
Grab some pudding. Yeah, you know, lots of look. I think over 60 women accused Cosby of something, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's an overwhelmingly amount of. That's like Harvey Weinstein level.
Yeah.
Accusing this guy of doing something.
Yeah.
Whether it was actually drugging or raping them, being weird, or trying to force himself on. There's so many accounts. It was kind of like, okay,
it can't be made up. Like if it's one or two people, like a lot of people like defended Kobe, said, look, it's one girl, it's possibly for money. And look, we always want to hear what the victims have to say, but 60 women came out. Then after the fact, just like Harvey Weinstein, all these stories came out about how weird he was. I was watching Joe Rogan and Bill Maher. They were talking about stories they heard about him that like he used to have people like watch him eat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then when he was at a hotel, he would bring his own soap and then he would take the soap. Like all these little weird, creepy things he would do. But people knew about this stuff back in the 70s. Now, the interesting part is the people who worked with him on the show saw none of this behavior. They're all like, dude, that's not the guy we know. He was never like that with us.
Which he probably did. Look, we know now. People can be, not everybody, but people can be very, very good at being deceitful and
duplicitous,
being two-faced. And there's a lot of people that, for the longest time, all of this Me Too stuff came out, right? And there were some people that it was like, wow, really? I mean, I'll tell you what, even the Louis C.K. thing, even though he would joke about it, I thought they were jokes. I really did. I thought they were. I didn't think he was actually sitting there, touching
beating his dick like an Iraqi prisoner.
Exactly, in front of the and Kevin Spacey too, man, was one of my favorite actors, all-time favorite actors, man. I even took his master class when they released that on Facebook, like, and then that happened, and it was like, oh, dude. So we know that to the public or to the people that they want to think, right, that they're great people, they can make them think they're great people.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not. You do have Felicia Rashad to release a tweet or a statement, actually in support of Cosby. It was it did get a lot of backlash, but she said a justice has been corrected, an injustice has been corrected, and that he's she supports Cosby and she's glad he's out. that got a lot of backlash, and so she
Yeah.
ended up having to release another statement saying, of course I support the victims and all that, and hear their stories and all that.
She just got a new job at Howard University.
Exactly. She's the dean now, so it's not a great start so far.
No, but, not at all.
Yeah, right. So, again, I think it's hard to believe. You know who a great example to hear their experience with somebody that this is Sarah Silverman. I highly suggest listening to Sarah Silverman. She's got a podcast, especially when the whole Louis C.K. thing happened.
Yeah.
She's very, very good friends with Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Now, Cosby's obviously a very different situation, right?
Very different,
because Cosby was drugging women and actually raping.
He took it to another level.
He took it to a whole nother level, which is so wrong. So it's a different scenario, right?
Yeah.
And I understand it's far more serious. But it's interesting to hear Sarah, because I don't think she even knew, right, that Louis was doing that stuff. And so she said she was surprised, but obviously she's still friends with Louis. And again, Louis is kind of a different situation. At least he didn't force anybody or grab anybody, but still not right. Still not okay. Still
not right. Here's what I think it is.
But I just think, Felicia was very close to Bill.
Yeah.
I mean, she played
his
wife.
2 shows.
She played his wife on 2 shows. He was known as America's Dad. I am sure he put on the best cover he could for her. And it's hard. It's hard. It sucks, and it's hard to hear, especially somebody that it has done something like this. And I think there's, maybe states of denial maybe she's going through, that it's just like, how could somebody I worked with, and he didn't do it to her, so that maybe is another thing that's kind of like,
he's like, well, if
she didn't do it to me, like, so
it sounds made up. I'm not saying it is, but it sounds like that. Like, well, he didn't do it with me or my co-stars, because there were a couple of young women on set. But I think what it is when it comes to like rich and powerful people, especially rich and powerful men, when you become that famous and everyone is kissing your butt, you think that your crap doesn't smell. I got to be careful with the words I use. You think it doesn't smell. So we look at him, Harvey Weinstein, you look at Kevin Spacey, you look at all these, men who have been accused. I'm not talking about guys who cheated. That's different. It's one thing to cheat. That's whatever. All people do that. I'm talking about this type of behavior, going back to Michael Jackson. And you get split because there are people who don't want to believe it, won't believe it. And then there are the people who are like, well, I can't believe it. How did that happen?
Right.
Because he was popular back. He was in a show in the late 60s called I Spy. And he was a famous comedian. People liked him. We liked him. It was one of the few sitcoms that as a kid I was allowed to watch. So even when I heard, and Bryan Singer, Bryan Singer's another one, the guy who basically
Bryan Singer, man, wow, yeah,
X-Men and X2, it is hard to believe that, like, oh yeah, these people would do these things, because we imagine him, we assume that he's kind of like the character he plays, Exactly. He's funny, he's very patriarchal, a nice guy. And look, I'm not denying he also did a lot of good. He paid for a lot of kids to go to college. He was very pro-education, stuff like that. But basically, here's what happened. He did a deposition with the woman. I'm not going to say her name, but the one that went to trial. The rule with the prosecution was that we're not going to release it. It'll be a private deposition. Apparently, during the trial, the prosecution did reveal it, which they technically were not supposed to do after they had told Cosby that, okay, yeah, don't worry, we're going to do this deposition. In the deposition, by the way, he admits it. It's not like, he admits it in the deposition that he did give Quaaludes, he did drug women, he did do everything he was accused of. He's not denying that, but the deposition was supposed to remain sealed. But because the prosecution exposed that during the trial, after they had made a deal with him not to do that, that is why the Supreme Court overturned the conviction. It's not because they thought he was innocent or that like new evidence came forth. Hey, Caden, what's going on? It's because there was literally a loophole or a technical error made by the Montgomery County District Attorney or the prosecution, and now he's free,
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. We'll see
It's
where it
pretty
goes from
wild.
here. But
yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll see what's going to happen now. Is he going to try and restart his career, or what's going to happen? But it's definitely we will be tracking this one. We will be tracking this one here on Jivin.
he's going to do an interview at some point. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we'll be right here to cover it, ladies and gentlemen. So
we
please come back and join us. But I think it's time. It's time for a transition. Isn't that right, Jack?
Yes, it is. It's time to talk about Loki. So, Loki, holy crap. It was pumped up. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was excited about it. There was Tom Hiddleston. Didn't he tweet that this was going to be a crazy episode of Loki?
He did. Or I don't know if it was he tweeted or he interviewed, but he was like, "This is the episode where it really pops off."
Yeah.
And boy, was he right, man. Right from the get-go, right from the beginning, we see the beautiful overshot of Asgard, man. I just there from the very start, right? First couple seconds, you see that beautiful Caden says there's nothing on the screen. Let me check. Let me make sure. Oh, no, well, we got stuff on the screen.
I see it.
Okay. Yeah, we see it. Try refreshing, Caden.
Yeah, because I have it running on another page. I see it here. Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Caden's trying to sabotage the show.
Never mind. So right from the get-go, we're in Asgard, man. We see the beautiful shot of Asgard, the Asgard we know and love. And then we see this child, Lady Loki, playing with her toys, having a good time. Before, bam, the TVA and a familiar face, Ravina Renslayer, the judge that everybody's come to know and take interest in, that Mobius has been working for in the TVA, enters in, grabs the kid, says she's the one, and resets the timeline and walks out. Yeah. So pretty crazy start right there. She goes through all the same stuff that Loki went through in the first episode. She sees the guy that, is this everything you've ever said? She walks through the machine that's like, are you real? Are you a person or not? And eventually is even taken into the courtroom before she kicks Ravina, grabs her little transport pod, and escapes.
And she escapes. And what was crazy about it? It really showed, I guess, a really ugly side because she's a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you grab Loki, who is a troublemaker. Loki's a problem maker. He creates problems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. However, the way they were treating her, she's a little kid, so impersonally, and you can see how cold, what's her name? Ravina, yeah. How horribly, mean she is. Like, get in there, kid, and whatever, And it's actually her fault. She gives a lot of crap to Mobius about losing Loki, but she lost this one. Like, technically, this is all her fault.
Right, yeah.
Just so impersonal. I mean, it's a little kid. It makes you really, the first time we see the TVA in a really ugly light, like, wow, they're just cruel. And then you see, when they bring Lady Loki in, or Child Sylvie, whatever you want to call her, they're like assaulting a guy, and she's like, help him. They just grab the kid. Ooh.
Yeah.
But
it's brutal. It's brutal stuff. You see, like you said, you see another side of the TVA. Obviously, right? We learned in the last episode, and we're starting to learn the TVA is not the great place that they've claimed to be. So
no, not at all. Not at all. In fact, one of the first things we find out is that the girl C-15, I think it was her name, or C-20, sorry, the girl that was kidnapped by Sylvie. Who, they went in her mind. She told them where the timekeepers were, and she saw that she had a life. She was in a bar. They just killed her.
Yep. Yeah.
And this is where Mobius is like, what?
What? Why? Yeah, she was fine. Yeah. There's some sketchy stuff going on. Obviously, and it kind of makes me wonder, right?
Yeah.
Ravina Renslayer is very dead set on keeping this whole thing a secret, as far as that the TVA agents are variants, right?
Yeah.
Even when the girl says it in the little clip later on, Ravina stops and says, I'm stopping this, and looks at the camera, and she has this very distressed look as I'm like, I'm probably going to have to kill the guy that's interviewing her too.
Yeah, this scene right here, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and Mobius sees that, and he's thinking, my God, that would have been me. So that was so cool how they get their memories back through enchantment. Yeah, it's a really, in that moment, right, that's a great point, Mads. By the way, hi, Mads. Great to see you as always.
Hey, how are
you? That's a great point. There's that scene where Hunter.
But look at the emotion on his face. You could tell he was upset that girl was killed. C20. Like
no. I don't think that was it. I mean that's an interesting take. That right? That you think that it was because of the girl. I think it's this whole thing that I think that's been in the back of his head since the beginning of the episode. Since the very first moment Loki looked at him and said, "You are a variant.
Yeah.
This isn't real." Even though he passes it off, he immediately takes hold of that. And when he sees that moment and he sees her look at the camera and go, I had a life. I had friends. We were having drinks. He realizes, my God, I had one too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they took it from me. Because because what's the very next thing he does, Jack? He goes to get Loki.
He gets to get Loki, yeah.
He goes to get Loki. And of course I'm sure he was upset that the young girl died and all that. Totally agree, right? But I think more so it was that revelation of, as far as he knows, his life is a lie. He gives such a good. We talked about it right in that first or second episode when he talks about, no, I was created by the TVA. I have a purpose, and it's almost like a religion versus atheism conversation, right? That they were having, and it just sounded so good. You could tell Owen was so convinced, right, that he had a purpose. That these timekeepers created him specifically to do what he's doing, and he's doing a good job, and now he's found out that that's not the case, and it literally, his whole world crumbles in that moment when he's looking at that pod, when he sees that moment, he finds out the truth, his entire world crumbles, and he makes that moment, decides to go get Loki. But right before that, we see Hunter C15, I believe it is, which is the actress we all know.
Oh, B15, B15,
not B15, not even God can, So as Matt said, right, that was cool how they get their memories back through enchantment. Yeah. Well, here we go. B15, obviously, she was enchanted or under the Enchantress's form in the second episode, right? And so she's starting to remember, oh my God, that she had a life. She was a different person and stuff, and it's messing with her, right?
Yeah.
And so she decides she has a break moment too. Mm-hmm. And there's even a moment, right, where she goes, right, just doing my job. She looks at Mobius and she goes, "See, Loki say anything?" He goes, "Yeah, just that we're all variants."
Yeah, we're all variants.
She's like, she's been under the Enchantress. So she grabs Enchantress, takes her back to the Roxcart store in the rain, and goes straight up like, "You lied to me. It's a deceit." And she goes, "I don't have that much power. I cannot create memories. I can only draw from yours. I can only insert myself into memories you already have."
Yeah.
So it's such an interesting concept too, because that means when they take these people, they're not fully like lobotomizing them, erasing their memories, starting from scratch.
Yeah.
It's like a reset, but all the settings are still the same. Your settings are still the same. It just
the TVA thinks they've erased their memories, but maybe there's something about our memories that can be brought back, And what's interesting about this scene, I thought, was that we actually don't see her memories. We see her experience them, but it's almost like a private moment. Like, we have no right to see her memories.
I don't think it's even that. I think it's just these agents, all these other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they feel like they have a purpose, right?
Yeah.
And they're serving their purpose, but they also feel like they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
This is what they do. And she sees her life, and I like that they don't show it, right?
Yeah.
They don't need to show it. This just and this is a credit to every actor in this series, especially Owen Wilson, dude. Owen Wilson. I don't think I've ever seen him kill it more in a dramatic role. You know, when she closes her eyes, sees those memories, she opens them. She takes this brush, and she's overwhelmed. She starts to cry, and she just goes, "Gavin, always good to see you. What's up, Gavin?" And she just goes, "You know, I looked happy."
Yeah, exactly.
And so
it's not like they took these people away from a horrible life. It's not like, you know, they were about to die or something, and the TVA saved them.
And she decides right there that these people aren't the people that get to decide her purpose. They're
essentially slaves. They've been taken against their will. They just don't know.
Yes. And so it's a really awesome moment. She's been set up throughout this series as a character that I had no idea that she would be the one, right? To be that person. But she is a credit to the actress, credit to Marvel, credit to the writers.
Yeah.
I literally, for me, I told Ty this was one of my favorite Marvel things that I have seen since Endgame and like the original Phase 1 Marvel. Iron Man,
I agree.
Avengers.
This series
felt like a little kid. I was giddy. This show has been on.
We're gonna get to that, Gavin.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about. This show has been on point with the comic book reference. They still take their liberties, but this has been, in my opinion, the most comic book accurate MCU thing they've ever done. Even though they're doing their own things, I was fanboying out
I love
all the references.
I just want to say real quick, guys.
Yes, go for it.
We do have super chats. However, since Daddy's not here, we're going to let you guys go crazy in the comment section. Give us your money. Yeah, give us your money. Everyone who writes something, I'll put it up here. We are talking Loki.
Guys, real quick, why you say that, right? We've got super chats this month. We've got our memberships. And starting today is our Live in July month. So starting today, all your donations, all your super chats, all your membership fees, every dollar that we get from you guys this month is going to a phenomenal cause. We are donating it to the fight against breast cancer, who Ty, as we all know and we love, his mother recently passed away. And so to honor her and to, in her memory, we're doing this because of her and for Ty. So, guys, it would mean the absolute world to us this month. You send a super chat, join our membership, even if it's just the $2.99 one. And, guys, look, we know it's tough times. If you cannot give money, we totally understand. The biggest thing that you can do to help us this month is to share this show, share this channel, tell your friends, ask some people, just ask them to tune in, subscribe. That would be awesome. That is so huge. That is to us just as equal as giving money or not. We cannot thank you enough for your guys' support, and we got a lot of guests coming this month.
Yeah, we do. We got a lot of guests
to entice you guys. So again, it's all for a great cause. So make sure and be checking that out this month. But yeah, back to Loki. To Loki.
Let me ask you this. So we were, hypothesizing last week, how the hell are they going to get out of this? I thought he might use a time stone. Maybe go back in time, let's say a year, and then create a variant event, because of an apocalypse, the TVA doesn't pick up any anomalies. So I thought Loki was going to go far back enough and do or say something that would, get their attention. But essentially what's interesting, what sets off the TVA? You see their monitors go up like this, right?
Yeah.
Is that they held hands. Does their union, either intimate or what? What do you think? Why? I guess two variants getting together,
Jack. It's the easy and obvious answer, and I think it's also one of my favorite songs, and that is "It's the Power of Love." It's the power of love. The power of love created that nexus.
The Huey Lewis version or the Celine Dion version?
Celine Dion, baby, all the way. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, really? Is that what you bet? I love that. I love that song. I thought you were going with Huey Lewis because of Back to the Future.
Celine Dion all the way.
Look
I'm
up
from
that
Vegas.
song, folks.
Listen, I got the chance to see Celine Dion live, dude.
Yeah.
Tears.
Yeah.
Tears. I'm telling
Especially
you,
when
that
she sings "My Heart Will Go On."
that woman has a voice that will literally it changes your life.
Melt butter.
It'll change your life. But yeah, so Loki, the power of love, man. The power of love.
Power of love. Look at that. Look at that.
Nexus event, but this isn't just any love. And I want to talk.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we're here because I've been wanting to talk about this moment.
Yeah.
This is another thing. Again, I was saying. I think so happy because it feels so comic accurate. It feels like such a thing Loki would do. Hey, Valentine TV, what's up? Thank you so much.
Hey, welcome.
Are they affecting it because they will live, so it does in some way affect the timeline? This is my theory, Valentine. My theory is this: is that yes, it's the power of love. Andrew Caselli, always good to see Andrew in the chat. We love Andrew. I think it's this, Valentine. It's the power of love, right? In a moment where it wasn't going to happen. But it's not just any love. This is two Lokis falling in love with each other. Yeah. It's Loki falling in love with himself. See, I know it's twisted. I want to address that. It's a little messed up. I know that I'm sure in today's pop culture, cancel culture, it may not be acceptable. Or some people will say some things about it.
I would say it probably is acceptable. They'll be whatever.
I think this is one of the most Loki things that Loki could have done.
Yeah.
This was so genius, in my opinion, on the writing. And Mads, totally understand, right? So think of it this way, Mads. I'm somebody who's read the comics, and that I know the character of Loki before I saw him on screen. So Tom has done a great job of doing certain things that are very Loki, being like Loki. But obviously, the MCU has changed a lot about him. This feels like this just feels like. But let me put it this way, Andrew, so Loki.
I think the show has established, she's
it's totally weird, but
they're vehemently different people. They have different origins. I'm curious if they're genetically the same. Then it is weird. But I think that given the multiverse, I think they're very different people. Yes, they're both Lokis, but I don't think they're related. It's not like a brother-sister thing. Right. I think especially in episode 3, which a lot of people said was a filler episode. No, that episode clearly shows these are two very different people with two different very origins, two different personalities, with two different ways of doing things. So them getting together, again, when we say she's a female version of Loki, I just think she's just Loki. She's another person who was in another universe, another timeline, whatever you want to call it. But I don't really see them as two sides of the same coin. I really see them as two different people.
We'll see, and we'll see how this turns out.
It is weird, though.
But look, there's a great. But
I'm with it. I'm gonna put it this way. I'm okay with it. I'm sold. I'm sold.
Look, Valentine TV makes a quote, right? So it could be. You can take it as a statement as wow. Self-love is very important. Yes. Very true, right? It does track for his character because he's so exactly. There's this moment, Mads, and I wonder if you caught this too, where. It's where he's being interrogated by Mobius, right? When they're captured and brought back in. And Mobius literally goes, right? What a seismistic, narcissistic thing for you to do, man. Yeah. And I was like, yes. And he goes, do you like her? He goes, are you, or not that. He goes, are you partnering? He goes, no. She hits me. She does all these things. She's this, she's that. And as he's saying it, he starts to realize, oh my God, I'm describing myself.
Yeah.
He's describing himself. And it's funny, right? You say, the two people of the same, right, can't get along. And it's that kind of thing. It was like, no, he took that to a whole nother level. He didn't just get along. He fell in love, and I just loved it. It's Loki in general is weird. The stuff he does in mythology. Look,
and real
he
quick,
has sex with a horse in mythology. He's got this weird half human, half thing son.
He goes full Clerks 2 on it.
Guys,
listen, real quick, Valentine TV. We actually talked about this last week. I think he did steal the time stone, and I thought he was going to use the time stone to maybe go take what was a planet called Lamentus back, let's say, a year, and then create a Nexus event to get the alert of, I don't know. They didn't go that way, but I'm curious. someone asked, why would it affect the timeline? If Loki and the variant and Sylvie are about to get killed, them holding hands, why does that go off on the radar? I hope they explained that. You said it's the power of love, but I don't know, maybe just the two of them meeting is such a, I don't know, but like they had met before.
As far as we know, things like that have not happened in the MCU yet. Now, this all goes to my theory. Andrew, okay. I'm so glad you asked.
What did Andrew ask? Hold on.
Valentine, yes, we are talking spoilers for episode 4 Loki, so if you haven't seen it, probably want to do that. Andrew, here we go.
Dude, Mephisto
I'm
showed
so
up.
Happy Andrew came because I've been wanting to talk Spider-Man for a while with him. All right, so could Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield be variants of Tom Holland's Spider-Man? So here's the thing. We found out, right, in this last episode that pretty much, and in the last two episodes, you find out that everything that they've told you in the first 2 episodes is a lie.
It's BS, yeah.
Is BS, it's a lie. So we know that there's this sacred timeline. There's branches. Yep. We've only been told about branches, right, of the sacred timeline.
Yeah.
We have not been told. Look,
about the multiverse.
Lady Loki, and I do not think Lady Loki is from a branch of the sacred. Is from a branch of the sacred timeline, right? She is from another timeline. They do explain that the timeline is warded out and the sacred timeline won. That's why I said, but they haven't fully explained that she is from another timeline. They've never said that. They've hinted at it and things. Never said she's from another timeline. And they've only explained to us branches, right? So it's my theory of this. Could Toby and Andrew be variants of Tom? No, not necessary. But they are literally from the multiverse. They still, even episode 4, they still have not introduced the multiverse fully.
No, they haven't.
So they are giving us, and I'm gonna say it. Andrew, they're giving us just the tip for right now. They're giving us just the tip. They're teasing us.
There's a profound moment. We're jumping around, but when they're captured and they're in the elevator, and Sylvie asks her, "What was my mistake?" Because obviously it wasn't being born because she was a grown child.
Yeah.
So something happened when she was a kid. It wasn't because otherwise, why not stop it when she's born? Something, and she has the most smug look on her face. She's like, "I don't remember." I'm like, damn, I wanted to punch her right in the face. So look at that look. I actually paused it at the right moment to get that look. She knows.
She knows, and she goes, "I don't remember," because she's just trying to tell you, you don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't care about you.
Yeah.
You think you're significant, you're not.
Yeah.
And that's basically what she's trying to tell her. In my opinion, I miss the evil, world-conquering, sinful version of Loki. I do kind of as well, Andrew. Yeah. We didn't get a lot of that. I actually agree with Andrew on that. I do, and I was kind of hoping that this show, we would get a little more of it. We still might. I don't know if there's a season 2. I think Marvel has so much to play with. They've opened up a really phenomenal and big sandbox.
Let me address that. Let me give you my opinion on that, because I think the problem is he basically kind of was like that in the first movie and the first Avenger, first Thor movie. I think the problem is he's had too many arcs where he's too likable. And here's the thing. If he's just a world-conquering Loki, it's very hard to make that character, add more layers and dimensions to that character without making him sympathetic. And that's what they kind of did in Thor: The Dark World. He kind of becomes sympathetic. He hates he's still evil, but he doesn't like that his mother died. He doesn't, in Thor: The Dark World, he betrays Thor like 20 or so Thor Ragnarok, but at the end of the day, he still saves the Asgardians, whether they did it to make himself look good or they did it because he actually cared. I think he's gone through too many arcs to just be that character. Like, I want to take over Earth, especially now seeing. I kind of like where they're taking him, where he's almost an anti-hero. I don't want to call him an anti-hero just yet because he's still Loki. But there's enough there as a character. Yeah, he gets emotional. But no, look at his face right here when he sees, spoiler alert, when he sees Mobius get killed. I mean, I don't know if he could go back to a world conquering.
Let's before we get to the Mobius getting killed, because we're gonna get so let's I want to address some of the comments here. Billy, always good to see you, man. We love you. Loki is very weird. I also thought he had the time stone. Yeah. So and that's what I'm saying, right? This could still end. And I tell this was my theory from episode 1. I've been saying it from the beginning. You could go back. is that he's going to grab the time stones at the end of this show and start hopping around and having fun with the multiverse. But I do think, Andrew, that this show is going to break open the multiverse. Maybe the events of the Raimi trilogy and the Amazing Spider-Man films are branched timelines in the MCU Sacred Timeline. See, I don't think that. I think that they are their own timelines. I think that whatever is going to happen in Loki is going to, and even with WandaVision, right? Even in WandaVision, she got handed in her dream, right? The Nexus event pill. Yeah. So we know that was a Nexus event as well. That created some branches. Some shit happened.
But let's clarify.
And we know specific. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I just want to.
No. This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
Who are you guys when we're talking about Cosby?
And see, this is why it's so wild, right? Loki and WandaVision were supposed to come out right before Doctor Strange 2, and it just all switched around. WandaVision makes so much sense 4 episodes into Loki now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, she caused a Nexus event. I'm sure some shit happened in the background where some branches, right, went off, because she didn't just create any Nexus event, now that we know, right? She pulled people from the multiverse, which is something that hasn't been done before. She pulled Ralph Boner and possibly. But more specifically, we know she pulled her kids not from the timeline she is on. Yeah. From another specific timeline.
So this is why I really want to clarify
that it's not going to be branches of the timeline, Andrew. I think those timelines are going to all start clashing into the sacred.
So this is what I was trying to say. So to answer Andrew, to add to what you're saying, that we want to separate the word timeline from multiverse, because another universe means that universe had its own Big Bang. It had its own creation story, whatever you believe in. It had its own Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, and blah, 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 blah. The brand, what the TVA does, it looks at one timeline and is fixing that timeline's branches. So the variants we're seeing are from this timeline, whereas the Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, they're in a completely different universe. So to use DCEU as an example, the Michael Keaton Batman is not a branch off the DCU. It's a whole other universe with a whole different Thomas and Martha, with a whole different Alfred. It had its own creation, its own history. There might be some similarities.
Superman, whole different thing.
Other thing, right? So the question is this Lady Loki from the sacred universe, or is she from a multiverse? And that kind of ties into what you're saying, that maybe the TVA is going to other universes and pulling these people out. Where's old man Loki from? Is he this Loki older? No, he's probably
that's another thing, right? We wake up, Loki's been pruned. Again, spoiler, he's been pruned. Wakes up, mid-credit scene. He sees old Loki, kid Loki, lizard Loki, and Thor. Like straight up a whole nother version of Thor with a whole different version of the Hammer Mini-Hor. Like, Tide is here, people. He's in the comments. What's up?
Oh, he's here. There he is.
But yes, we know Super Universe that Superman is DC. We were just
I was using an analogy to give you the multiverse is different than alternate timelines.
But so we see literally a whole nother different version of Thor. No, that's not boasting Loki. That was a different version of Thor. That has already been confirmed.
Which one was?
The not old Loki. The guy standing next to old Loki, the big guy, shirtless, that had the hammer and everything. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
That's another
version. Was he the black guy?
Thor. Yeah, the black guy. Yeah, it's another version of Thor. I didn't want to be like black, but
that's fine.
It's another. It's the other.
Austin defended by black people.
No. So yeah, that is.
Wait, I have that picture. Where is it? Man, what the hell am I doing? This guy. Oh, he is holding a hammer. I didn't notice it. I thought he was just another Loki.
Oh, he wasn't shirtless, but he's big. That's a Thor.
Wanted to be sure. You pictured him shirtless.
That's a Thor-looking dude. Hey, yeah, come on, dude. Look at that dude. That's a Thor-looking dude. That guy is Thor.
He's supposed to be Thor. Yeah, a variant.
That is supposed to be Thor. That is. They've already confirmed that it's a different version of the hammer and everything. Ty has to go get a coffee first because Ty just wakey apparently.
Doesn't matter. We're good. We're gonna keep going without him. I'm having fun, guys. Daddy's not here. Don't worry about. You can do super chats if you want, but we're gonna put this all this. He's gonna be so mad that we're doing this. I love him. He's gonna be. I was like, where do you go?
No. We'll be fine. We're fine.
We'll be fine. It's a different version of Mjolnir, but he's Loki. See, I didn't even notice the hammer. I thought that was.
Is it really? I thought the guy posted on Instagram that he was Thor.
Maybe, I don't know.
I thought I saw an article where because he did post a picture of him on set after the release of the episode.
Okay. And he said that was Thor. Look that up because let's see if I can.
I'm looking it up.
All right.
Different Thor.
Okay, so Mobius said variants may look different from the original face, and powers are still the same person, so that can apply here. There were 3 Peter Parkers, but with different face and powers. Yeah, but if that's the case, then that means
Loki. Wielding an alternative Mjolnir. Yep. Huh.
So say that again.
He's wielding an alternate version of the hammer. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Does that mean that those timelines, Andrew, have been erased by the TVA? I don't even think the TVA would be aware of the Andrew Garfield. I don't even think that's where they're going with the story at the moment.
Huh.
Or maybe they are. But I don't think the 3 Peter Parkers are from the same timeline. They're not branches of the timeline. They're a completely different universe. That's what I'm trying to say. Because they haven't quite introduced a multiverse just yet. They haven't used that word yet. Right now, they're just fixing branches off the sacred timeline. I think that Peter Parker from the Sam Raimi films, Peter Parker from the Andrew Garfield films are completely different universes. Alternate dimensions maybe might be a better word. And that may be very well the case of what we're looking at right here, is that child Loki, obviously not a younger version of the Loki that we know, and is that old man Loki is obviously not an older version of the Loki we know. Are they being pulled from another universe or another timeline? By the way, is that Avengers Tower there on the right-hand side?
No, I didn't even realize that.
That might be New York City.
Okay, so So okay, guys, I was wrong. That's both for Loki. You're right, Super Universe. Okay. He also says I don't like Andrew and Toby. They suck. Okay, I completely disagree there because Tom Holland sucks. Alligator Loki
we're gonna get into it.
Alligator Loki is the best. I caught the Alligator Loki, Gavin. I had to tell my friends about it. I was like, "Did you guys see Alligator Loki?" And he goes, "There was an alligator." I'm like, "Bro, that's gonna be my favorite character. I already know right now. It's going to be my favorite Loki. I like Tom Spidey. Tom Spidey sucks. He's the worst.
He's the best.
Super Universe, your opinion. Yes, Alligator Loki is the best. Go like
we got to find. Keep it civil. Actually, no. Be as toxic as you want. Just don't kick each other out.
But yes, so that's interesting, right? Richard E. Grant is wearing the classic 60s. Yes, I'm super excited for Richard E. Grant. I think that's gonna be a great version of Loki. Like Super Universe is changing. He's like, Tom is kidding. He does suck. Yep, he does. Again, I always say I always say like because people come up and they're like they're like, man.
You talk about the kiss from the first movie, man. That was classic.
Right. I've had people come up to me and be like, yeah, Tom is the most comic book accurate. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Because he's a teenager. Now we're demonetized.
Whoa. I'm like, listen. He gets some things right. I give him, some of the nerdy stuff. But here's the thing. He takes it over the top. Andrew and Toby, they were nerdy, but they weren't nerdy to the point. Like, the kids in high school, right? There's the nerdy kids, which are cool, and then there's the nerdy kids that like don't stop talking all the time. You want to punch them because that's all they talk about, and they follow you talking. Like,
but Peter Parker was being always beat up. He's always getting beat up in the comics before he becomes Spider-Man. He's always, now they've changed.
But hold up. But not because he was annoying, because he was just a geek and a nerd.
But isn't that the same thing? Does a jock really overthink it that much? If they don't like you, they don't like you. They pick on you because they pick on you, whether you're cool or not or whatnot. But look, I have issues with the Spider-Man movies, the newer ones. I think they're entertaining. I still think the second Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie,
Far From Home, I'm fine with. I think
it's okay. That's the second one, right? Yeah. I hate these names that are too similar. It's okay, but like I've seen it twice and I've never picked it up again to watch it, which that's a good gauge for me.
4 times.
Really?
I like it. I love
Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. I'm glad that they were branching. That was the movie that like they're gonna branch him away from Iron Man, from the mentor thing. He can become his own person. I was like, okay, he's starting to grow up, and he started to grow on me a little bit. I was like, all right. Again, we talked about it yesterday when he was getting dusted in Avengers. Mm-hmm. He was the one character that people in the theater started crying because he was like, Mr. Stark. And I was like, let's go! Get him out of there! Get him out! Bring Andrew back! But dude, no swearing.
Get Andrew back. Andrew Garfield is older than I am.
We can do what we want. No,
he's older than I am.
Horns are the best looking. But this
wait, Super Universe, were you the one who was giving me crap on Tuesday about vaping? Was that Super Universe? I feel like that might have been, yeah.
I think so. Let's see. Far From Home Mysterio acting is the best. Uncle Ben's death in 2002 Spider-Man hits me more than Iron Man Junior dying. And then Iron Man Oh, he keeps referring to him as I'm dead.
Oh, that's what he meant earlier. He's like, go watch Iron Man Jr. I'm like, is that some kind of cartoon? Now I got it. Yeah.
In my head, because I saw Iron Man Jr., I didn't even read Iron Man.
Yes,
I saw Robert Downey.
Her.
I just saw Robert Downey.
Yeah.
Because of the Junior. And then Iron Man, I guess apparently Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr. to me. So that's so funny.
That's actually funny. One of the issues I've had with the Spider-Man movies, and we're still talking about Loki, folks, but like because it's set in this MCU, which is comics accurate, they can't really have Spider-Man take on larger than life issues because there's the Avengers right there. You know,
it's getting harder and harder for these.
With the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, there were no Avengers, at least that we were aware of, in that world. If the city's about to go bad, about to blow up, he's got to be able to sit. The stakes felt real, but like that scene where, like, you know, the boat splitting apart and Iron Man comes to save the day. It makes sense, obviously. And like guys, in a world where, you know,
just so you know, we are getting into Spider-Man for a second, just to give Ty some time to jump in. He's grabbing some coffee and stuff, and he wants to jump in, obviously, and get in on this Loki talk. So we are coming back to Loki. Stick around. But we are talking some Spider-Man stuff in between here. Tobey Maguire is the only one who captures the heart of the character and what makes Peter Parker Spider-Man perfectly right. Got the core elements from the comics. I agree that Tobey kills it. Tobey kills it. Yeah. I also argue that Andrew Garfield, take away the fact that he's a pretty boy, then he's, you know, does not look like Peter Parker. You know,
the only thing with Toby and Andrew, and I've said this before, is their age. They were in their late 20s playing like 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds, and I'm like, and they kind of sounded older. And so when they tried to sound young, that was a problem in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. They cast like 26-year-olds to play 15-year-olds. That's the only issue. And you can see like the 5 o'clock shadow, and you know, you're like, okay, you know, because Andrew Garfield, I mean, he was 26. He's a year older than I am, so I think he was like 27 in that first movie.
A lot of people like you know, like that the quick quips, right? That Andrew gave, and I agree too, right? That's another thing that I think that Andrew in the suit as Spider-Man, I think might be my favorite Spider-Man. Like Andrew in suit as Spider-Man, it feels like it's straight from the comics.
He sounded like a New Yorker. He sounded like a New Yorker.
And especially that scene, that first time.
Dude, we want to get in trouble. Please get us in trouble. We want to become that channel.
Yeah, we're looking for it. Bring it on, baby.
Yeah.
Or no, just this show, though.
Just this show, yeah.
Yeah, leave the channel out of it. Just come after the show. But the early Stan Lee comics of Spider-Man, he graduated to college after a few issues. And I agree. I'm much for adult Spidey. However, Andrew, I guess you got to think too now, even like with Miles Morales.
Well, Tom Holland is so set in the Ultimate version where like he's like 15.
That's the thing. They're working. They're very much working the newer comics, not the comics. That
Anthony wrote that suit. Andrew, wait, Anthony, you said the Toby suit is trash. Look at that suit. Look at those eyes and Andrew Casel's logo.
That is so wrong. I completely disagree. That suit was ahead of its time, baby.
Yeah.
That suit was ahead of its time. Now I will say the one thing I like about Tom's suit is you get the blinking eyes.
The eyes move when it, yeah.
And the
Because
eyes
they do that in the
move.
comics too, and that's always an issue
Yes.
with like Batman. Like you always show his eyes, whereas in the comics it's white, so it can change.
Right. You know, I was just watching an episode of Justice League the other day, and yeah, you see that Superman goes, "I need you to do something," and you actually see him with his eyebrow like. Oh, you need
Andrew, that's my problem with a lot of the MCU. Like sometimes the humor is a little too much for me. I mean, I enjoy it, but like it seems sometimes like they can't put stakes because if you keep putting jokes in there, the stakes feel less. Think of Steppenwolf in Justice League versus Steppenwolf in Snyder Cut.
In Snyder Cut, exactly. Yes,
there are no jokes. He's a scary, terrifying villain.
Or literally for me, Flash in Justice League compared to Flash and Zack Snyder. Like Joss Whedon did not understand the character of the Flash, and then you see Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you're like, Zach was.
Don't apologize, Anthony. It's, if you don't like
Frank
it,
was no, yeah, you could be.
We're not like that. We're not like you don't
Zach
ruin me.
Zach, in my opinion, just like, dude, that scene for me where he, goes back in time and he's talking to his dad, and he realizes the things that he realizes that he can do, and he realizes that he can do these things because he's with the Justice League, because he's with Batman, because he's with Cyborg. It's just like Zach just understood and took that character and did so well with him. And Joss Whedon didn't. So yeah, I agree.
I love how you're on fire today. Look at him, guys. Look at him today.
Yeah. Me?
You.
Are you talking to me?
Yes. I'm saying to the guys in the comments and girls and thems. Look how much on fire he is. Look how it is.
I'm telling you, that Loki episode got me psyched, man. But I completely agree. Right. I do think the Tom Holland stuff, it's just too humor. It's too much. He's a kid and it's funny and it feels very, very much for kids. Homecoming, I hated Homecoming. Homecoming felt like the most kid movie. Like the only reason I liked Homecoming was Michael Keaton's Vulture.
Oh yeah.
I think.
By the way, we talked about that last night in our panel discussion. Make sure to check that out from yesterday.
Yeah. I talked about how I wanted the plane to crush him when he was trying to lift it up, and it's the big hopeful scene where he gets his, where he's like supposed to. The audience. I just love how that's the scene. The audience is supposed to be like, yeah, this is our Spider-Man. Yeah, and lit in the theater. I'm like, crush him like a bug. Bring back the other ones. I don't care what happens. Super bonus, do you like James Gunn or Zack Snyder or Joss Whedon? I don't like Joss Whedon. I do like James Gunn. I do like, you know what? Right now, I don't think I've seen a movie from James Gunn that I didn't like. Yeah. So yes, I did. I do like James Gunn.
Dawn of the Dead, which was written by James Gunn, directed by Zack Snyder.
Exactly. I have worries about the Suicide Squad. Well, I'm not as excited as everybody else is for it, but I haven't seen it yet, and I'll make that determination once I see the movie.
Once we see
it, it may be the one James Gunn movie I don't like. It may be the one that I love the most. We'll see.
But Joss Whedon, I was a huge fan of the first Avengers. I've been watching Joss Whedon since the late 90s. I used to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I watched Angel, which was a better show. Firefly. I was a huge Joss Whedon.
I never
was the nerd god for the longest time, and it just blows my mind. Again, it kind of goes to the Bill Cosby thing. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but the dude was very abusive on set towards his stars, towards the women. It sucks.
I think take away from that. Take away from that. You liked his stuff.
I like his stuff.
Take away from that. If you were probably still working today, you would probably still like his stuff.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. So, and I totally understand. Me personally, I never liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I realized later in life that I only liked the first Avengers movie because I was much younger and I was just so excited to see these characters. But when I go back and watch that movie, I don't find it rewatchable or that great.
Really?
No, I don't. I really don't. And I argue now, that I've seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, I argue that is such a superior first team entry movie. Team ensemble movie.
Some people don't say that. They'll say, the first Avengers was way better than Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I love the first Avengers, so I disagree with him.
League. I liked it. But I go back and I don't think it's that great of a movie. I don't think it's that rewatchable. It lags in a lot of parts for me.
Well, it's because it's not that action-y. I kind of like that they take time. Like the first major action scene doesn't happen until Loki attacks the helicarrier. Right. There's some action, But like and I like that they took the time to kind of reintroduce these characters with each other. I still think that first movie is good, and even though I crap on Age of Ultron a lot, I like Age of Ultron to a degree. But I would have liked to have seen something more with what like the Russo's brothers did in Infinity War. Change up the formula. Don't give me the same thing again and again. But yeah, out of the three, I would have to say I think Zack Snyder is probably my favorite at the moment. You know,
Right.
although
Yeah,
I think
agree.
as time has gone by, I think my opinion of Army of the Dead has not maybe like stayed where it was that first week or two. I don't think I loved it.
Look, I've always, I said it from the beginning, I liked it. It's a great, and you know, I still argue that, yeah, it still redefines the zombie movie genre because there's no zombie movie that's done stuff like that, bringing aliens and doing all that. So yeah, it still redefines the genre. I still think that it has a lot of its moments. I think the ending is incredibly messy, and I still argue that that one's that's more rewatchable to me than Avengers.
See, I was gonna say I think Zach is better when he has a different writer. I think when he works with Chris Terrio, he's better. But that's me.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. If the rebel scene in Homecoming had Peter hear Uncle Ben say, "With great power comes great responsibility," then Tony, it would be so much better with class, right? And just switch it out with Toby. A lot of people are drawn, right? And a lot of people are drawn to different elements of a character. I respect Holland fans, Andrew fans. Toby. Look,
Andrew, when you say
agree.
Classic Spidey music, are you talking about that Danny Elfman music from that first 2-3 movies? The Spider-Man music was great.
Yep. So I respect all the fans. The character really doesn't have a perfect adaptation. I agree with you, Gavin, that I respect all the fans. I get why. Look, I get why people like Tom's character because I'm sure in the newer comics in the Ultimate, which I haven't read the newer stuff, you know, that maybe is how he acts as a teenager and stuff like that. That's not the Spider-Man I grew up with. It's not the Peter Parker I grew up with, you know. So it's not why I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I totally get why people like him. I totally get why
I like Tom Holland's. I have more issues with the movies than I do the character.
Gavin Cooley,
did you real quick? Did you like Tom Holland when you first saw him in Civil War? Because now you have different writers. When you first saw him in Civil War, you have different writers writing him. Because I had the same issue with Hawkeye. I thought Hawkeye was better in Civil War.
I did like him, his introduction in Civil War. I didn't like his solo movie. I didn't care for him in Infinity War, and I didn't care much for him in Endgame. Far From Home started to reel me back in a little bit. Let's see, bring Toby back. He goes, is it? Oh, Super Universe talking. He thinks it's rewatchable. The Avengers. Yeah, and for some people it is. I think it's very boring. At this point, it's very it's such a meh movie to me. I feel like there's no layers to it. There's no again, like you watch that and then you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you're
because Joss Whedon films his movies like a TV show. That's my issue with it.
Yeah, they feed you and
but you don't like that last battle. I mean, that last battle for the first time, it was
last battle's fun.
Yeah,
you can't deny last battle. But that's the only rewatch, and I don't need to rewatch the whole movie to watch that. I can just put the clip on.
Put that last battle on,
Yeah, you know.
Bring Toby back. Hopefully. I want to see Toby back, I thought they should have made a Spider-Man 4 back in the day. Yeah, Spider-Man 3, but they could have done something cool with 4. They were setting up so much.
No, not Toby as Uncle Ben. I said bring Toby back as Spider-Man, not that, Andrew. I want his Peter Parker. That's what I was saying. I didn't say bring Toby back as Uncle Ben. That's not what I meant.
Okay, so Andrew Casale, you're touching on something that I remember I went after the Marvel movies. They like what makes Zack Snyder's film work and what makes Raimi's film work. Those are auteurs. They're directors who are leaving their own stamp, their own style. They're not making a movie to get you to the next one. You watch that first Spider-Man movie, it's a self-contained movie. Spider-Man 2 is a self-contained movie. It's not like we're going to set up the Hulk now.
They're not thinking They're not thinking about like these other MCU movies are you know all these other characters that are around. Yeah, there were little teases and things of like in this Raimi films. There was a tease to Doctor Strange, and there was a tease to Punisher and things like that. But you know, it was very little, very subtle, and it wasn't anything that you know he was trying to drive the story towards. If it happened, it happened.
He said, You guys are having fun in the comments today. They're messing with each other. I feel a sense of camaraderie here today. It's a rainy day here in Philly, so I'm sure it's.
No, they not. What are you talking about, Andrew? No, they not. What did Andrew say? Why are people messing with Andrew? Guys, leave Andrew alone. Leave
Andrew alone.
Andrew's my friend. Leave him alone. Be nice.
Yeah. You mess with Andrew, we'll bring justice back.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're supposed to mention anymore.
What makes Raimi's Spider-Man great is that it just tells exactly. And his world of characters, not worrying about the wider universe. Exactly. So many films today, not just comic book films, are relying on exactly what Andrew is talking about here. They're relying on their sequel setup. You have the Mortal Kombat movie, which freaking was basically felt like it was just made so that the sequel could get made.
Yeah, because I think the sequel will be the movie that we want to watch. Yeah, the actual tournament stuff.
And I'm sorry, but Army of the Dead is very much a movie that is like, come see the rest of our stuff.
Yeah,
you'll probably like Army of the Dead more.
Dude, this is why I kind of get
this game. WandaVision I like more because of Loki and the stuff that's coming after it. You know, there's this thing of like, we're gonna start giving you some mediocre stuff.
It's so DLC.
The better stuff elevates it, and it's like
DLC.
Okay,
it's like video games. You know, back in the day when you bought a video game, you had the whole thing.
I like self-contained story.
Yeah. And look, they can be
and I think personally, all right, I will say this: Man of Steel is a masterpiece. Man of Steel is a masterpiece. It's a self-contained story. It's a masterpiece, in my opinion. It is one of the all-time greatest comic book movies ever, in my opinion. That's Batman versus Superman is where I start to have issues. Batman versus Superman is very much a movie
behind him. Look at that. Look behind his right shoulder.
Yeah, I know. Only because I will say, like, those posters and those trailers for those movies were so sick.
I gotta show you guys the posters I'm gonna be putting up soon.
But Spider-Man 1 or 2 are not master. Yeah, I wouldn't say Spider-Man. I would say they're master.
I think we throw the word masterpiece around.
I would say Spider-Man 2 is a masterpiece. Comic book masterpiece.
Spider-Man 2 is a phenomenal film.
It's a phenomenal. It's one of the best.
I wish the third one had continued that type of quality. And they made it in 2 years. That's what's crazy. They made it so quickly.
But I will say, like,
Kirsten Dunst was horrible. But I don't like what's her name either. Zendaya, I don't like her either.
Oh, I love Zendaya. I don't
mind the actress. I just don't like her performance.
She's the best part of these movies.
Dude, she's supposed to be MJ. She has like this who farted look on her face the entire time. Like,
no, I just like that she is, because I know those. I know that, she's that girl.
There's my Zendaya impression.
I love her. I love her. So look, Batman vs Superman is where I start to have problems. It's very much a movie that relies on the next one to set it up. It's very messy in the storylines that it draws from. It's not even the Ultimate is a masterpiece. It's a good movie.
This is ballsy. He or she is putting, to reverse tell us your gender, your preferred gender pronoun, is putting her Instagram up here, his Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of shameless self-promoting, and I like it.
Andrew,
I mean,
when I watch
I'm the only person on the thing who had the idea of putting his own name on the show, Well, there was TY's Corner, but whatever. But yeah,
when I watch the Spider-Man movie, I want it to be about Spider-Man. Yeah, I agree. Whenever I'm watching a solo movie, whether it be Spider-Man, whether it be Thor, Batman, for the most part, Superman, I want it to be their movie. I want it to be self-contained. We talked about this a little bit yesterday on the panel too, right? We kind of got into it because somebody was like, "Oh man, Brainiac is not a villain for a Superman movie, solely Superman movie." I was like, "Who told you?" "Oh, what?" And he was like, "Yeah, he's a Justice League villain." I was like, "He is a Justice League villain.
Justice League villain, yeah."
I strongly disagree. He's a better Superman villain. I mean,
well, I think in the world they set up, like, if Brainiac were to invade
Krypton, like, I mean, it's
I think the issue is though,
level
within the DCU, if Brainiac were to invade Earth, there's no way that Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Batman are going to be like, "Yeah, you go ahead and take care of it." Because that's one of the issues with Phase 2 movies. Every time, like, Winter Soldier happens, like, where's Iron Man? Where are Thor? When Thor: The Dark World happens, where's Iron Man? Like, like, I see what maybe, I don't know if that was the point he or she was
I don't think it
make,
was Ty. I don't think it was Ty, Billy. I think it was Philip, actually. Or it might have been.
Are you guys gonna hook up or fight? I'm trying to find out what's happening here. Look at these guys meeting.
Right.
A love connection, maybe.
But no, I think
no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay.
I mean, look. I think that Andrew's not you. I saw these articles and leaks and topics. No, I totally understand, Gavin. Yeah, this whole No Way Home stuff. It's like everybody's gonna be in this movie. Nobody's gonna be in this movie. It's just all. I totally.
Is Michael Keaton going to be in this one?
Well, if it was Ty, then yeah, he's sorely mistaken. And he claims to be a big Superman fan. Because he fights Brainiac in the comics solo, like. And it's one of those things too that it's like if you're if it's Ty, I believe it. If you're Superman, right? And I was kind of talking. I was kind of talking about like the reason I never really liked Superman or read those comics growing up was because I was like, he's all powerful. Like, what's the point? Unless that villain, is Brainiac, I'm thinking, or Darkseid or Doomsday. Whatever it is, I think that it's got to be that type of level, right? To go up against Superman solo. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, and you have comics, right, where he goes up against these guys solo, and yeah, he loses sometimes. He doesn't always win against those guys, but. I mean, who else are you going to have? Lex Luthor in the green suit? Come on. Like, realistically, Superman can literally fly through him. The boys style, Yeah. Like, so I just think that, and yes, it does make it more fun and more interesting when you bring the Justice League into it, because now it raises the stake. You have Batman's smarts. You have other people's strengths. That's why I love the Injustice storyline, because Brainiac takes over, Superman is under his influence, and it's like Brainiac and Superman versus the Justice. Now that's versus every DC character. Now that
would be a cool movie.
That's a story, man.
This is also something that happens in the comics, especially in Marvel comics, but even DC comics. Like, you'll have the heroes doing their self-contained thing, more so in Marvel because they're all in New York. Like when Spider-Man is doing his thing, very rarely, unless it's a team up, will you see like Thor or someone help him out. But they're in the thing. What happened?
Kevin just blew my mind. I love it. I literally just saw this episode of Justice League last night. I watched these two. There's a 2-parter, Justice League season 2. Watched it last night, man. So great. I was just thinking too. Oh
yeah, this dude. Yeah.
I was like, this would be such a great Superman villain, or in my head, I think maybe if you're not going to do a space level threat for a Superman villain, then I would do a trio. I would do Lex hires Metallo, creates Amazo, and you have those three, and possibly even Bloodsport.
Who's the second one you said?
Metallo.
Okay, Metallo. Okay,
Metallo.
Who's the dude from the Doom Patrol? He's got a similar name, Lex something.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen Doom Patrol actually.
Okay, never mind.
But Metallo's interesting, and he's a great Superman villain. I actually thought they were going to introduce Metallo in Batman versus Superman, the guy that loses his legs, right, and climbs. And all that, he goes to Lex Luthor, right? And in the comics, Metallo is helped out by Lex Luthor. He's got an exoskeleton that regenerates.
But he got killed.
So,
yeah,
right. But he
could have done that. Yeah, they got
exactly. And I got killed. But for a second, especially when he's in the wheelchair and he goes to Lex, I'm like, please turn him into Metallo.
Lex goes to him. My sister loves the scene where Lex is in the wheelchair, the electric wheelchair, and he turns it around. I'm here to help you to make stand for something or something.
Charles Xavier style.
Yeah. What do they call you? Wheels.
I'm right there with you. That's such a great episode of it. So Amazo, for those of you guys who don't know, character of Amazo is created by in Justice League. I don't actually know the comic origins. I actually thought I read that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Gavin. Maybe because I'm not sure. Is Amazo from the comics, or was he created specifically for the Justice League TV series? And then
no, he is from the comics. 1960, The Brave and the Bold. Okay,
cool.
I looked that up. I'm not that. It's not like I knew it off the top of my head.
Right. In Justice League, in the show, yesterday's episodes, right? Amazo's created by the scientist. The scientist passes away. And Lex Luthor inherits Amazo, basically. And Amazo basically can copy the superpowers of any superhero. He basically stares at you, scans you down, and if you're Hawk Girl, he grows wings and straight up like forms this hawk. If you're the Flash, he runs. If you're Superman, it is so sick. It's such a great Justice League villain. He's from the comics, but his design sort of changed in the show. Okay, I had heard somewhere that there were some changes in the show, so that's why I don't know.
They always do that in the animated series. They do that,
right? So that's why I don't know if that's why I said so. His origin from Justice League from the show was he was created by. I actually am not sure of his comic origin. Yeah, the best part, Justin. There's this great scene in the show, right? Because he looks at everybody, he scans everybody down. He is beating the Justice League to a pulp. It's so sick. I'm sitting here. I'm like, man, I'm 5 years old again. And then Batman shows up, and Batman tells Superman, "Stay away. I'll take care of it." And I'm like, oh yeah, bet. Like you can even see.
I've seen the episode, but it's been a while.
You can see Ben Affleck's Batman doing something like this too, and he just straight up walks up to Amazo, and Amazo scans him and goes. He starts like error.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I do remember that. Yes. I do remember that.
You don't have any powers.
Yeah.
And Batman goes, that's right, I don't. And pulls out kryptonite. I was like, oh, oh man.
Dude, that's
that
good
show
stuff,
is
man.
so good. Guys,
you
know
watch
what?
Unlimited?
I think I might start doing watch parties and watch it.
It's on HBO Max, all of it.
I'm going, and if I do it, if I do it, I'm going to do Justice League season 1 and 2 right into Justice League Unlimited.
And then there was Young Justice, which I haven't seen, but I've been told
I have
is
not
really
seen
good.
Young Justice.
I heard it's really good.
Is it in the same continuity or something? Or?
Yep. Technically, this is all the Batman animated series continuity. It starts with Batman the Animated Series, the Batman Superman Adventures, Justice League, Justice League Unlimited, Young Justice, and Batman Beyond would be technically in the future. All one continuity.
Yes. And you know what? I was thinking about it because it's one of my favorite episodes, Justice League Unlimited Epilogue. I was thinking about watching it last night, but I ended up watching Amazo. Justice League Unlimited Epilogue is a great episode where it's the second season finale of season 2, and it basically ties Batman Beyond into like the official continuity of everything that's happened in Justice League, and the series that have gone on, and it's just it's so good. It's so good, dude. It straight up, there's literally a scene of old Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne, Justice League Batman, and Batman Beyond all standing together.
Yeah,
like in one, and it's dude, it's if you're a Batman fan like me.
Dude, I think they're gonna do Batman Beyond. I think I'm not saying like it's set in stone, but I think they're testing Michael Keaton out.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
And it makes sense. Here's why: because the Batman animated series was sort of a loose sequel to the movies. That's why they used the Danny Elfman score and everything.
Who would you cast as Batman Beyond?
Ah, boy.
Or as
it's kind of funny. He's just you know what? He's already in the DCEU, but the Asian actor who plays one of the Shazam family. He was in 13 Reasons Why. Because with Batman Beyond, look, because his face is covered. He can be black, he can be white, he can be Asian, he can be whatever. Well, if you want to do it like that,
but then you end up finding out that he's genetically the son, so he does have to have some.
Oh, he is. I didn't. Oh boy, I haven't seen Batman Beyond in a long time.
Hold up, no, you need to watch Justice League Unlimited, friend.
I'm on the first season.
Oh, I spoiled season 2. I didn't know.
No, don't worry,
man.
We were talking. I wasn't paying attention. I'm joking.
So
That's
sorry.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, listen. Once you get to season 2, the season 2 finale, there's gonna be a big explanation, and you'll.
But do they have to do that in the movie? Like, just make it anyone. Because if it is Michael Keaton, then they got to pick a white guy. Pick anyone.
It does. Yes. And you will understand and see why.
Okay.
Do you want me to spoil it? I can. Or do you want to
it's fine. I'll Mike Moe. So just say Mike Moe. So let me look him up. He's an American actor. He's a fifth degree black belt in American Taekwondo. Oh.
So originally years ago, right? I still he's probably just too old now at this point. But man, I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt would have done such a good job as a Terry McGinnis, right?
Okay,
Or as
younger,
Batman
yeah.
Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously younger, not now. I think he's outgrown the role. I think now, if he bulked up a bit, because the kid is just like very skinny, that's not fine. That's fine, if you want, he's never done any roles that required him to. But if he were to do like Batman Beyond, he would have to bulk up and put on a little bit of weight. Would be Timothée Chalamet, I think. I would say. I think Timothée Chalamet would be a great Terry McGinnis. He's got the acting chops. Yeah, I think he can dive into those deep, moment. I just think he would be a great one. And you can kind of connect it to, like, he looks like Michael Keaton a little bit or something like that.
Yeah.
So Amazo destroys everybody on the Justice League except Spat. Yeah, that's right, Gavin. Yeah, and that's one of the best parts, is because it's like he copies superpowers. Batman doesn't have superpowers. Yep. But that's the thing. Batman tells him, you get our superpowers, but hey, you also get the weaknesses too. Yep. So, there's actually a moment. There's so many little quips in that show that I'm like, how did I not? Like, I was so little. Like, this show, so much of this went over my head. Yeah. But somebody, I think it's Wonder Woman, looks at him and goes, "You always carry kryptonite with you?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, just in case."
Yeah.
And they literally go, and I think Flash goes, "That's scary." He's like, that's like kind of fucked up, I mean,
Let's see. Whatever. Yeah, Ty's yelling at me for vaping.
Today, people. Yeah. All right. Anyways, where's Ty? We need Ty to rein me in a little bit.
No, we don't. I don't want anyone reined in, baby. I don't want anyone reined in.
I had too much coffee. And I got a triple shot espresso from Starbucks waiting for me in the fridge. I'm going to go get it.
Go get it. Guys, we are talking Loki. Look at him. I think he's on. I don't know what he's on today, but he's on fire, guys. Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying Jiving with Jack? We're over a month in. And whatever. By the way, if you missed our discussion on Bill Cosby earlier, check that out. I think like 2 people watched it, and I think I was one of them. But let me ask you guys this. If DC does the whole multiverse thing where, let's say, we got Robert Pattinson's Batman over here, you got Ben Affleck's Batman here. If they do that, would you guys be okay if they did something similar with Toby and Andrew? So, okay, you got your MCU Spider-Man, which is Tom Holland. He's the one in the movies. He's the one who's going to be in the Avengers movies. He's the main Spider-Man until Miles Morales. Would you be okay if on Disney Plus they did a multiverse show with an older Tobey Maguire, with an older Andrew Garfield, one or the other or both, doing the multiverse thing? Would you guys be down for that? I'm curious. Tell me.
I am Batman. I am real Batman. I'm producer of Loki. That's why I know everything about Loki.
Super Universe, you scared the hell out of Ty. Ty's like, he's going to report us. I'm like,
all right, I'll let you choose. Am I going with a Red Bull or a triple shot?
Triple shot!
Yeah!
Yeah. God,
I haven't tried these. Have you tried these?
I
haven't tried these. I just do I've done the double shot.
I got like some double shot thing for the Justice League box they sent me. They sent me like a coffee thing. And
Gavin, we love you, man. Thank you so much. That means the world.
If you had seen our skit for today,
this is for you, Gavin. There you go.
If you thought Super Universe was going to report us for vaping, wait till you saw the skit that we had
terrible.
planned. The skit we had recorded yesterday for today's show. Oh my God, it would have got in trouble because we have other skits, but we came up at the last second. I'm like, we're going to do the skit. It has to do with Bill Cosby. That's all we're going to say.
That is just the worst. That is awful.
I don't like Starbucks coffee.
I used to work.
I'm not gonna lie. So, I'm a little bit biased. I know.
Well, yes, you're on the East Coast. You're on the East Coast.
No, Starbucks is huge here. Everyone goes to Starbucks.
Well, I know, but I also know that, like, if you're in Boston or Massachusetts or whatever, like, you go to Dunkin' Donuts or in Philly or wherever. But
we do have Starbucks there, and people do it. There is a huge Starbucks crowd, but I go there. I'm like, give me an extra large cream and sugar stirred really well. Boom, $2 coffee. They are too old. No, but I'm saying, Justin, like there are comics where Spidey are in their 30s. I mean, they're probably
Starbucks
40,
is
but...
trash. Yeah, like Justin's like Starbucks.
Wait, if Justin doesn't like Starbucks, I have to love Starbucks because we're contrarians. We always do the opposite.
Right, you
Like,
gotta do the opposite.
you gotta do the opposite.
Look, I used to work for Starbucks, so I actually don't mind either. Usually, to me, coffee is coffee, and that's coming from somebody that they made me go through the whole what do you taste in this flavor today, man? When you're drinking and sipping on this black Norwegian fine picked bean
I can't
coffee Christmas blend by Starbucks, are you tasting the earthy feel of the leaves that they're picking? And I'm like, yep, nope.
No, yeah. Oh, here's my issue. And this is why I don't like going to Starbucks. Can I get a coffee, cream, and sugar? Here's your coffee. You put the cream in yourself. You put the sugar in yourself. Okay. They give you these little packets with like 10% sugar. I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes looking like a diabetic, opening like 30 packets because there's like not that much sugar in those little packets. It's not a full packet. It's like all the way at the bottom. So I'm like taking 3 at a time. Pour that. 3 at a time. Pour that.
Yeah.
And like people are looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, oh, dude, this guy's trying to give himself diabetes.
Look at the packets. There's nothing in here.
Not too long. Yeah. But like, yeah. So like Dunkin' Donuts, give me a coffee. Give me cream and sugar. Stir it for me. Boom.
I will say,
Done.
right, the one benefit of Dunkin' Donuts is that they sell donuts with the cup. So you can get donut and a cup.
You get your donuts and your coffee.
Does not do that. I mean, they sell sandwiches and stuff.
But Krispy Kreme. Did you ever do Krispy Kreme? Oh, everyone was talking about Krispy Kreme. They kept closing down in my area.
Oh, dude, Krispy Kreme is my jam.
You know, I don't have coffee when I'm hungover.
Our local Smiths now sells boxes of Krispy Kremes. They get them delivered in the morning. God bless Smiths, guys. God bless them. You just go pick up a box. I don't even have to drive all the way.
You try to bless yourself?
I just bless them, bless the Krispy Kreme. God bless all of it.
You gotta do it all.
Yeah. You will give me more Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
But
you ever see Chris Rock's been on Krispy Kreme?
Yes.
He's
like, my God.
Yeah, if I told you there was crack in there, you'd be like, I knew something was up. Dude, give me a donut.
If you told me there was crap. If you told me there was crap in Krispy Kreme, if you told me there was crack in Krispy Kreme, I would be like, I 100% believe you.
Yeah,
I 100%.
And you know what? Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it back in the day.
I'll order a dozen more.
A dozen more.
No. Yeah, it is. It's like eating a cloud, but also.
Gavin, look at you. Poetry in motion. Krispy Kreme is like eating a cloud. Look at that poetry.
It is. But my God, the amount of sugar.
Oh yeah.
That is.
I stopped eating donuts because I could scarf them down, man. We're donuts and bagel
I'm
town
horrible. Here. I do.
But you guys are skinny. UTY are skinny, man. I eat a donut like it goes right to my hips, man. I'm always trying to like.
I'm not that skinny. I fill out.
Yeah. But like if I had your figure, man, I'd be like, dude, I'd be with like just skinnier. I like you should have seen me like 3 years ago. This conversation just got awkward. Yeah. Right. So yeah, Loki.
Right, yeah. So, guys, I know Ty.
We can keep talking about Dunkin' Donuts.
We can really talk about donuts. We can talk about, but I know Ty has been saying I'll be right in for the past 25 minutes.
He's in the backstage. He can join anytime.
Oh,
I figured if he wanted to jump in, he would jump in. Now he's jumping in.
Dun, 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 dun! Papa's Daddy's here, baby. Let's go. Oh man, did you see what I did? Like I'm on a triple shot.
He's got Krispy Kreme with crack. That's what he's been on all day.
I'm through the roof with energy.
I could literally remove myself and he just keep going. I'm just like, all right.
I can do this all day. Like what was it, Captain America? I can do this all day. Let's go.
We didn't forget Loki.
Well, he did take steroids.
We paused Loki.
We paused Loki because
we stopped Loki because we love you. We want you to come and
he's
talk
like, why are you
Loki.
Screaming? I'm like, God, go.
I know. You see what's happening?
Not you, me. He's like, why are you screaming into the microphone? We're having fun. Dude, we started with 3 people. We're at 13. So, guys.
I don't know why. I have so much energy right now.
Drugs.
No.
Don't do drugs, kids.
No. So, that episode of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yeah.
All
right, so we already made it. we already broke down about halfway through. So you get us to the
Alright,
halfway mark of your thoughts.
So where are we at?
Well, I think
we stopped. We did cover a little bit of the end credit scene, but we pretty much got to the point. We talked about the Nexus
Thor,
event of them. That's not Thor. We were wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Not Thor.
That's boasting Loki. That is.
Is it a Loki that inherited the throne?
Or just took the hammer? Maybe I don't know.
Took the hammer. We don't know. Yeah.
So he might be like a righteous Loki, wouldn't he? Like if he got the hammer, unless the rules for the hammer are different.
His character's probably going to be dope then. Like kind of like a Thor character without. So that's their way of bringing in Thor
with the Loki personality,
without bringing in Thor.
Yeah. And it's funny because now you can't really fault me because that did look like a different version.
I didn't notice there was an alligator there.
You didn't know the alligator Loki?
I didn't know there was an alligator Loki there.
That's another
Lizard Loki's there. Lizard Loki, man.
And there's the Avengers Tower on the right side.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this is a timeline where they actually did nuke. That looks like a nuclear devastation. I think that's a branch timeline where the nuke actually did blow up New York City in the first Avengers, where there was no Iron Man to take it into space. Maybe.
So, Ty, we covered all the way back up until when Mobius goes and grabs Loki.
Oh.
So give us your thoughts up until then, and then we can
all up until then.
My thoughts on this episode this episode was one of the most dynamic, I thought, of the four. This episode, say what you want about the Loki and Loki, like see, the romantic aspect between the two Lokis.
Yes.
But I think I heard Jack saying earlier that in no way, shape, or form could they be like brother and sister.
Yeah.
Right.
Or even like the same genetics, like, you know what I mean? Like their DNA is the same, I think there's the third episode so clearly showed they have different backgrounds, different styles. Right. Loki even says, I have no idea how you survived this long, because she's more like shoot first, ask questions later. Loki's more like, how can I manipulate you into doing what I want? She's more, brute force. He's more like, clever. They're two different people. So when they hook up, I wasn't like, ew. I was like, I get it. They're two different people. Yeah. Yes, they're both Lokis from different universes or timelines. We're not sure. Okay. Yeah, that was another question. Like, is she from another universe or another timeline? Because she was alive for like a long time.
To leave, huh? Super universe? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
We bring Ty in, and you just.
I'm not loved by Super Universe.
Oh, I love Super
Ty
Universe.
is not worthy in Super Universe.
He yells at me like he's my mom, and I love it. Super Universe, please come back. Please come back. We're here every day.
We love it. We love it.
We are here. We are here every day, and I love this episode. Mobius being taken out. What a terrible.
Wait, now I'm curious.
He taken out?
Yeah.
Is he taken out because we see where Loki? Now, when you get, what do they call that?
Pruned.
When you get probed.
Wait, what?
When you get pruded,
bend over.
Oh. Yeah.
Wow.
Does that actually mean you're gone?
Well, see, that's what we thought until we saw the post-credit scene, right?
Right.
So I actually thought they had the balls that they not only killed Mobius, but they killed Loki. I'm like, oh, did they just do that? Did they just make her the main character? Because as much as I wouldn't be happy with that, I'd be like, props, Marvel, for doing something daring.
Yeah.
But I don't think, obviously that's not where they're going with it. But I thought that maybe, I'm like, wait, there's so much footage from the trailer. What if that was fake? What if they filmed stuff to make you think? Because they did that with The Last of Us Part 2, not to go off tangent, but like they filmed stuff to make you think, oh, this is what the story is going to be. And then like none of it was in the actual game.
Yeah.
I was like, what if they film stuff with Loki to make you think he's in more of it?
No, Marvel is famous for that.
Yeah.
Like literally Marvel is famous for that.
Yeah. But this would be taken to another level if like Tom Hiddleston is gone for the rest of the show. But obviously that's not the case.
But maybe he's not gone for the rest of the show, but maybe he's not in our part of the show.
Maybe he's not as central.
No. Maybe he's not central at all. Maybe he's a side quest now. And the second season is him coming back for revenge.
Oh, maybe.
You know what
Okay,
I mean?
yeah.
So,
Um,
and the rest of our adventure is with Sylvie.
I do.
Dude,
think,
I'm shipping them. I like the two of them. I'm like, go
I
for it.
ship it. I ship it. I do.
I like
think,
that at the beginning when they were sitting together, and at the end when he was like, "This is new to me," and he's about to kiss her.
I do. Right. I do think Mobius is coming back. I do think Mobius is gonna. I don't think. Look, Owen Wilson he's too damn good, man. He's too damn good in this show. I think it would be.
Wouldn't that be like really ballsy? You get a big star or a star, and then kill them off halfway, and you're like,
don't even get me started on the Council of Kang, because it's becoming more apparent that I can never pronounce her name. Ravina
Renslayer.
She has some sinister in her.
Yeah.
She's the best villain I've seen so far in the shows.
When you say Council of Canes, do you think the Council of Canes are? Because I think the Council of Canes is.
I think the Council of Kings are behind.
Yes. Yes. All right. Me and Ty are taking this theory. We're going hard with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Go for it.
I think the Council of Kings.
Everybody I talked to is like, no, I don't think they're going to go that deep. And then I literally just read some stuff that was from last year that was like there were rumors and stuff that Jonathan Majors is appearing in this series. He is going to show up.
He's playing Kang, right?
In a brief cameo role. He's pretty much set to appear in this show.
You can hear me and Austin say it when they show when they show the gold elevator. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, there it is, though. There it is.
Yeah, let's go.
And then they bring us up. And there's these three things.
The keepers.
Yeah. And then we find out that they're
androids. Yeah.
They're androids. So that made me happy, actually, because I was because instead of, it was like the opposite Ralph Bonner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was like an opposite Ralph Bonner, because where that was leading us up to a tease, this is gonna pay off. This was teasing us into a lead up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there's a great moment, because as soon as she looks at that head, right? She goes, mindless androids, and Loki right after that goes, so then who's behind the TVA? And it literally in my head I was like, Council of Canes. Kang and the Council of Canes.
Kang. So for anyone who doesn't know, Kang is a character who has been seen throughout time, right?
Yes.
Could be a good way to introduce the Fantastic Four. Hell, they could actually introduce mutants through this.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought they were going to introduce mutants in WandaVision when they did the Scarlet Witch thing. Like, they actually called her that. I'm like,
here's
a mutant.
Thing, right?
The witches are mutants.
Again, I don't know if you heard this earlier. I was talking about how, as I was thinking about it later, and I've seen the episode like three or four times now. Right?
I actually didn't get to watch it again. I'm gonna have to watch it after this again.
Oh, okay. So I've seen it a bunch, but WandaVision now is starting to like. All right, WandaVision would have been so good if it came out after Loki, and it's so sad actually that they did that to WandaVision, because I think that
how many times did I say that?
they hurt.
Because this show has so many highs, and this is so better made. I still feel like WandaVision would have felt like a step down,
it still
as opposed to now a step up.
It
seems like, I know Marvel's getting better.
Agreed. It wouldn't have been Loki, but it would have made sense. That's the thing.
I do want to publicly apologize for, because of Loki last night, I slept so bad last night. I couldn't fall asleep till like 6 a.m, and then I slept till 5. Like, your show started 30 minutes later, I woke up.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do the skit. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, it's all good. All good.
I mean, you can put it at the end. Do you have it like made, or?
I don't.
Oh, okay. We can save for next week. It's still kind of topical.
I don't.
Oh, I did my Bill Cosby. We actually both did.
We did our Bill Cosby impressions. It worked out.
You got the Jello Pudding.
I mean, how much longer are you guys going to be going?
Probably 25 minutes, or what's it? 6:30. 6:30, around 6:30.
However long we.
Guys, it's going to get us in trouble.
Yeah, it's all right.
You might have oversold it, but whatever.
I would have to leave to do it.
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
It'll debut. It'll debut on YouTube tonight.
Okay. There we go. Okay, cool.
It'll debut on YouTube tonight. All right.
Okay.
All right. Because now I'm wide awake.
I did do my Zack Snyder Green Lantern.
He's like, now I got nothing to do.
Now I get nothing to do because I'm gonna be awake all night. Yeah. Madeline's all the way in God knows where. So.
She's watching. Shout out, Mads. We love you, Mads.
Mad is
she here?
She's watching. She's been
here the whole time.
She texted me. She's like, "Where are you, man?" And I was like,
Mads is on top of it. She's been watching us from the start.
Yeah.
But Mads asked who made them, right? If these are androids, right? Who made these android timekeepers? Who's keeping up this illusion? Obviously, we think it's Kane. Or at least me and Ty think it's Kane, or possible.
What about if they use some technology from Ultron?
Remember they said the whole thing about the robots? The thing that they walk through, like, unless you're a robot, maybe.
What if they use some technology from Ultron? Like I know they're the timekeepers, and they're like they're advanced, right?
So,
but maybe
they're not the actual timekeepers.
Do you guys think the timekeepers existed before, and Kane killed them and took over? Or do you think it's all a grand illusion that he's created?
That's a really good question. Because
so here's my theory. I think he's been, he had his kind of like comic accurate history. He started traveling. He probably did something wrong. Maybe the real TVA got him. The real TVA and the real timekeepers got him. He escaped.
This is cool.
Started traveling. Yeah, I caught that too, Anthony. Yeah, her number 823 is the first appearance of Kane. But I think he escaped, been traveling, right? He's been conquering different periods of time, figuring things out, and at some point realized the TVA was like the key to being in charge of time, or the timekeepers, took over that, and kind of he's kept the illusion up, right? Because it would be weird if all of a sudden the TVA stopped doing what they were doing because Kane conquered them,
Yeah.
And he's been kept the illusion up and been doing his plan.
Do you guys know who Kane really is? Okay, I made I made a video, and I'll plug it.
And
guys,
sorry,
you know who it is. We made a pre-recorded video on who Kang is. Start to finish, literally, I lay it all out. Right. So I will if you're rewatching right now, if you look up, there'll be a card. Click that card and it'll go through the history. It's not there yet, Jack. God damn it. It's not there yet. There'll be a card and you can click it and it will explain all who Kang is, all the iterations of Kang. By far, my favorite one is the Kang that's in ancient times who has to battle the Fantastic Four.
That's mine. That's the one I know.
Yeah.
I know this. I had to kind of read and research.
And there's Iron Lad.
Like Iron Lad, I just learned about because I haven't kept up with Iron Lad and stuff.
But this is what makes Kang such a cool villain. Now, guys, everyone thinks that Kang is going to be like a Loki villain in phase. What phase are we in?
4.
We're in phase 4, right?
4.
That's funny because I was doing the tags yesterday for Tuesday for the episode, and I was like phase 4, and then I did phase 5 just to be safe. I couldn't remember which phase we were in. But
I don't think they're calling it phase 4 at the moment. Have they actually said this is phase 4? Are they okay? All right,
yeah, they are.
Okay.
But I think Kang. Because of the introduction of time travel, I think Kang is going to be the central villain of Phase 4, and they're going to have to fight him throughout different periods of time.
That would be wild. I do agree that he's gonna. I think he's gonna be the central villain.
How many times have we been mad about Loki? I mean, how many times have we been mad about Marvel villains and how they have no backstory, no motivation?
Yeah.
What if the motivation
very two-dimensional? Yeah.
And this is good,
the motivation is the same for each of them because they're the same person.
And this is really cool because, instead of having multiple villains for all the movies, right, which is what they were doing, and you have some that are just
Phase 5 is after.
You don't even remember some of the villains. Now you have.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Phase 5 starts right after Thor.
Okay.
Right after Thor.
Ragnarok. Or Love and Thunder.
Right after that phase, because it was going to be Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And then they swapped it.
Because I was saying Phase 4 would be pretty short then, because Phase 3 was like a long time.
Not really.
Yeah,
not really.
Or
a lot of movies, rather, in Phase.
Well, it would have been a long time comparatively now.
But think about this: the movies of Phase 4.
By the way, guys, 8 days.
8 days till Black Widow.
Be Black Widow.
8 days till we're covering Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Showcase Cinemas, guys. Please come out and so what we're asking you guys to do is we're asking you guys to go see it on the 8th at a midnight showing, or they do 7 p.m. showings. So then you can join us on the 9th. So you can we're not going to be doing pre-shows.
Post show only.
Post shows only, because we figured that's the best way to do it. Pre stuff, like we get there early. The pre stuff will be for members only. So if you want to be a member, join. And when we get to Showcase, we'll start doing members only stuff. But for the most part, we'll only be doing the post show review. Guys, let's face it. That's kind of what we're there for.
Yeah,
right?
That's really what we're there for.
That's really what we're there for. We're not
see the movie and tell you about it.
Because that's what we usually did. So, but now what we'll do is before each movie comes out, our panel discussion the week before. So say Black Widow is on a Friday, panel discussion on Wednesday will be about Black Widow.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But continue for a sec, because I have to catch my brain up.
Well, I love that comment, Kane. Yeah, Kane is so powerful, and that's what I kind of said after the show, after the watch party on Wednesday morning. Is I was like, that's what I love about Kane, right? One of his powers is he's constantly learning. In fact, he goes through ancient history and time to learn, to become smarter. He is a genius.
Does it end with Fantastic Four?
No. Phase 4 does not end with Fantastic. No, they've already said Fantastic Four is a part of Phase 5.
I thought
Fantastic Four is announced. Fantastic Four is announced.
I thought because here was
Fantastic Four, the Mutants, and Blade. They're announced, but in Phase 5.
Here was the whole thing. Was originally Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to end Phase 4, but because The Flash is coming out, they swapped it. And they brought Doctor Strange up.
No, Prakash, you can't trust Wikipedia.
They're trying to beat DC.
You can't quote Wikipedia, guys. And Prakash, this is nothing on you. I know you're a really smart guy. Prakash, by the way, Prakash is one of the smartest people I know. He really is. So
no, I'm sure. I believe that it says on Wikipedia that.
But you know what it also said on Wikipedia? It also said that Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz had sex on the Batmobile.
Yeah, no.
So
deleted scene. That's why it's going to be all right.
And you think about it too. I don't think so we have the movies, right? Black Widow, Eternal, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man. Oh yeah, today's been fun, man. Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Thor are the movies, right, of Phase 4. And then you have the shows, which WandaVision, Falcon, Loki, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye.
Let me bring it up.
She-Hulk.
Moon Knight. Did you say Moon Knight?
Moon Knight is this guy. So that's set 7 plus. Like because you mentioned earlier, it just seems kind of short. This is big. It's a big. Yeah. This is probably one.
You know what is the pandemic took more than a year and a half out.
Feels like and it's funny, right? Because this year we're gonna get slammed with we're already getting it. We're 6 months in. We're about to have 4 Marvel things we've already gotten, and there's
Andrew,
6 more coming.
All right,
let me say this about.
I have it.
So, Andrew, I just want to say, I would say I loved Thor I loved him in Ragnarok, and I liked him in the first Avengers, and even the Incredible Hulk. I loved the Hulk in Ragnarok.
He was so good in Thor 2.
Yeah,
that was okay, guys. Contrary to popular belief,
Thor
has been accurate in Thor 1, Thor 2,
and Avengers 1 and 2.
Avengers 1. he has not been Thor accurate in Ragnarok or Avengers. I guess
Age of Ultron?
Maybe Age of Ultron. He was accurate as
from
well.
what I hear, the newer
because
comics,
he was still kind of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Ragnarok is the one who took him on a different.
But I'm okay with that because the character was kind of like one-dimensional.
They're going off a comic character of Thor that I don't know. That is, I guess, pretty recent.
It is recent. It is recent.
So it is comic accurate. It's just not the ones we.
But here's the thing: Thor Ragnarok is a Thor that's been on Earth for a few years because at the end of the Dark World, he comes to live with Jane Foster.
That makes sense.
So he's been on Earth, so he's kind of lived with humans, so he's picked up some human mannerisms.
Yeah, and I'm not doubting that makes sense, right? But he wouldn't adopt a human accent. Like all of a sudden now after 5 years living in the United States, after living in Australia, you're not going to speak like an American. You're not.
Wait, he didn't pick up an American accent.
No, but he has slang that he uses.
Oh, okay.
He no longer uses. He doesn't.
The Shakespearean stuff is gone.
Yeah, but I think that even in the first movie, he was kind of laughed at when he's like, "How dare you touch the mighty Thor?" And like in the hospital.
Yes, but that's what was great about it.
And if anything, that's MCU's fault for playing it that way, because you can play that in a very dramatic, good, cool way.
Yeah, but that would change the whole tempo of the movie, though.
It would, yeah, but MCU decided to play it as funny.
The whole arc for Thor is that he was like this condescending, kind of priggish jerk who became more human. He fell in love with a human girl. He became more humanized, but like he's not perfect. Like that line in when he talks to Doctor Strange, like, why don't you send me an electronic? Why don't you send me electronic mail? He's like, do you have a computer? He's like, what for? Meaning he knows what email is, but he's not really sure how to access it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when it kind of reminds me when
but it's not. It's all right. So guys, this is Phase 4.
Yeah. They did nerf Hulk. Thor: Love and Thunder. Okay, so it ends with Thor: Love and Thunder.
No. This is So remember what I told you. Well, okay, no. I was right. I'm sorry. So originally, Doctor Strange was gonna end the. So see, Doctor Strange and Thor, those were swapped, but they swapped them because the Flash, and they wanted to compete with the Flash with Doctor Strange. So they kind of and also missing from here is Spider-Man, I believe.
Yeah. And also Doctor Strange is going to have, even without the pandemic, is going to have the longest gap in between movies.
And it's missing. This is missing Miss Marvel. It's missing.
Well, is Miss Marvel and She-Hulk going to be? That might be.
That could be Phase 5. Actually,
yeah.
There's no way that wouldn't make any sense because those shows are coming out this year. They've already said Disney has already said Miss Marvel's coming out and Hawkeye are coming out in the fall.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Right, hold on. Let me do a little bit more digging, even though I'm not the producer. I'll be the producer for this episode. You guys keep going.
Yeah.
Cool.
With Miss Marvel, is that the one where they were talking about introducing Matt Murdock, or was that She-Hulk?
She-Hulk.
Okay, never mind. Taslania.
I think Spider-Man will probably introduce him first, but we'll see.
Tatiana
Maslany. Yeah. Maslany. Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be a cool show.
All the pictures for Phase 4 are fake.
Yeah, they're literally
all fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. It's hard.
Basically, what I'm getting is Loki, Black Widow, Doctor Strange, Hawkeye. This one says Blade, which is clearly dumb. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Eternals, Thor, Love and Thunder, Falcon and Winter Soldier, What If, WandaVision, Shang-Chi. But
didn't Disney say, I could be wrong, or Marvel say that starting with Phase 4, they're going to start kind of moving away with the idea of phases. Because they're not going to be doing like the Avengers movie towards the end of each phase. They're just kind of like, just keep telling a story. I could be wrong, but I remember that was talked about during 2019. They they're doing Phase 4, but they're going to move away from phases.
Maybe this could help us. Because, all right, what is it? Marvel Phase 4. Sorry,
just go to Wikipedia.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I said keep talking. So
I'm not sure what the phase. I'm not sure what the phase is, but also thinking. Okay, so so this year, yeah, we have Hawkeye.
Guys, someone DM me the official Phase 4 because everything online is fake.
I don't know. Okay, here's everything announced. I don't know specifically where they've cut the line off.
Yeah, I don't know if they ever.
Because some of them include Fantastic Four. Some of them don't. But some of them include Guardians, which we know hasn't even.
They haven't even started writing it yet.
Started writing it.
Yeah, they haven't even started writing it.
It's finished being written. What are you guys talking about?
Guardians 3. Did James Gunn write it, or
it's already getting ready to go into pre-production?
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're getting ready to shoot it.
Okay,
it's going to start shooting by the end of this year.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You got Guardians 3.
Of course. Guardians 3 has been written since James got fired.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They were going to use his script and fire him as the director.
No. I was talking about going into production rather than the script writing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't even know the script had been written. I thought he was fired. They were starting from scratch.
No, they were going to fire him as director, keep his script.
Yeah.
That's literally what Marvel was going to do. He'd already turned in the script.
Yeah.
Obviously, and he said there's a different draft now. Like he's changed things with all the time and story.
Because he doesn't want them to be able to replace him.
Yeah.
Right. And so I don't know. It's Guardians 3, but even if that starts shooting this year, we're not getting it till 2023.
Would you be surprised if maybe Marvel at the moment does not really have a goalpost for Phase 4? They're gonna.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Actually, you know what? This is from Marvel. Literally Marvel.
Yeah, like Marvel.
All right, so we have Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Did he freeze? Oh, there you go.
This doesn't make any sense.
Because you got to figure the whole pandemic shaked up everything.
It did.
This doesn't make any sense because they start going into because they start going into Blade. And I know Blade is not Phase 4.
Well, didn't they announce Blade when they did do Phase 4? They introduced Mahershala Ali and they put the Blade logo up. And
it says Blade TBA. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's
wait. Black Panther goes filming next week, according to Rick
Black
Jameson.
Panther's already started filming.
Yeah,
Kevin
so
Feige is already confirmed.
All right, guys, we need an official scooper.
Yeah. We need a scooper.
You got to remember, Chadwick Boseman dying throws everything off. They probably had different plans for him besides Black Panther too. He probably was going to have a bigger. So now they got, and not only that, you have a year now where you're not filming, where you have to you have time to reassemble. So whatever they originally said has probably changed because of the pandemic. They've been saying like, hey, what if we did this? What if we did that? You
know what? This is what I'm seeing, right? I'm seeing that Fantastic Four is being planned for like 2024. So I doubt, I would think that the cutoff, probably movie-wise, is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
So, because this I know is wrong. I just by looking at it because Spider-Man's not there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, this is it. It's just we need to include Spider-Man in here.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know though. I don't know. So if someone in the comments wants to give us or find something that because I don't want to get hung up on this, but what were we talking about before that?
Loki. King.
No, Loki. Yeah.
Yeah.
Loki.
Do you guys like? Okay. Oh! I didn't get to do my my sweet tooth thing.
Oh yeah, T.Y.'s Corner. Yeah.
All right, let me get into that.
So
what?
My bad. I thought you were trying. We wanted us to talk while you were getting it. So my bad. T.Y.'s Corner.
Let's take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby. So take it, move along.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Oh my God. So Madeline and I, we decided that we wanted to watch Sweet Tooth. Now, this is a show that me and her and I both were like, we watched the first episode. We were kind of like, I don't really know. Like it's not something that, it doesn't look like it's something. Guys, this show was downright fun. It was so fun to do. It was so fun to watch. Each episode has you craving the next episode. Robert Downey Jr. and his wife Susan produced it. In the show, the kid who stars in it, I'm not sure what his name is, he does such a good job. And it really does relate to the current world that we live in, with people being different, and there's a pandemic going on. People are very much stuck in their houses. I'm kind of thinking that they delayed releasing this one because it was so dead on, like spot on to what was going on in the actual world, that it was crazy. Because Madeline kept pointing out that, but there's stay 6 feet apart signs. I'm like, yeah, but that was for the movie. That was for the show. Like that wasn't for this. The story is so good. You would think it was for a child. It is not for a child. Yes, you could watch it with your kid, but this show is definitely, if I had to relate it to something, I would relate it to the show on HBO Max. Someone help me out, guys. The HBO Max one with they have the little kid avatars. I'm the little animal avatars. You're muted, Jack. I can't hear you at all.
There we go. Let me look it up right now. Animal avatars. Ty or Austin, do you know?
Animal avatars?
Yeah. So their spirits are they have.
Yeah. The terrible things. His
dark materials.
His dark materials.
His dark materials.
It reminded me of His Dark Materials, but in a sense. Yeah. But this show is my recommendation of the week. If you haven't watched it yet, guys, please trust me. Watch it. I finished it in a day. It is so good. And the black guy who is in it, you wouldn't expect him to be good. Like you wouldn't, not that he's black. That's not what I'm saying. You've never heard of him before.
And we're canceled.
Yeah, and we're canceled.
And that's it, guys. Done.
No, but we've never heard of him before. He's never really been in any other big productions, I don't think.
Okay.
And he does so good. But I see that we're dropping viewers. So
who cares? We stick with the topics. Let's keep going.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth, guys. I gave it an 8.1. It is so good. If you haven't watched it already, definitely watch it. That's it for TY's Corner. That's my recommendation of the week.
Honey, let's take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby. So take it move along.
And we're back.
I was like, what?
I faked you guys out. Listen, we got to wrap up, but there were other topics that we wanted to talk about. Slave One, we could talk about that on Tuesday. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
But we can talk about that on Tuesday because Star Wars is eternal. We weren't planning on talking about this, but this happened today. Britney Spears' request to have her father removed has been denied.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, she's saying, like, I feel like a slave. She still has to do performances. She's saying she might refuse to perform. But then I feel like they're using that against her. Like, oh, she's lost her mind. That's why she doesn't want to perform. Haha. But yeah, basically, a judge denied it. And I really, no matter how many articles I've read,
unbelievable,
can't understand why. Apparently, she gave a 24-minute statement. And he said, the judge said he cannot make a ruling based on what she said. And like, it's just really strange.
Wow.
Like she said, like one day she was like crying on the phone with her lawyer, and her dad was like laughing. Like she was like, it was horrible. Like he was laughing while she was crying on the phone with the lawyer. Like, I can't live like this. She's like, it's an abusive relationship. I don't get why people aren't more outraged about this. Like, if she is so mentally deficient, why is she performing? Why is she making money? Why is she doing albums? If she can't do that stuff, I mean, I don't know. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, this is insane. I cannot believe that.
Yeah. So I'm sure this is not going away, but I thought that was worth bringing up because we did talk about it a lot on Tuesday, and we talked about mental illness and stuff like that. But it seems like what's happening to her, for someone who has been working through this for 13 years, she's still making albums, she's still multi-platinum and all that
against
stuff.
her will.
Yeah. It's just against like
her will. You know what would really help if we boycotted her performances, not because of her.
Yeah.
But because it would show her parents that there's no more.
This sounds awful. Like,
this is the worst situation I've ever heard of.
Some of the stories that she's telling are just crazy.
No. Let me rephrase that. They're a lot more worse. They're a lot more. They're a lot more worse. This is one individual person. We live in a country where there was a race of people enslaved. Yeah. But in modern times, for someone to be in a slave situation, very, 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 very alarming. And we need, I think that's what our show is going to start doing. We are going to start speaking out for Britney. And one day, Britney, we'll have you on the show because we're going to speak out for you. And we're going to tweet free Britney every single day, every day for you.
This is what she said to the judge. This is an exact quote. "I just want my life back. It's been 13 years and it's enough. It's been a long time since I've owned my money. It's my wish and dream for all this to end without being tested." That's kind of rough. I mean, she's 38, 39 now. She's not a kid. She's a grown woman. She's still performing. She's still making albums. Apparently, if you're trying to sell me that she's crazy and loony, but she's able to do all these things, I don't know.
Guys, would you guys be interested in a Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard review tonight? Let us know in the comments. Because Austin's gonna go see it, and if you guys are interested, I'll go see it as well.
Oh,
all right. Yeah. I'll go see it as well, and then we can do a little review afterwards. But let me know. Let me know in the comments for this video. I know it's not a movie that everyone's like super hyped up about, but we will still. Did you just say humped?
You said humped. That's why I said humped.
Did I?
So I just copied you.
You said humped.
We were humped. Those movies that everyone's hyped about. And
we were humping your hump.
He's thinking about what's her name? The one who plays the wife. What's her name?
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek, and the word hump came into his mind.
Wait, one last question, guys. If you're a member, those comments will allow them. If you're not a member, you need to send the super chat for us to do this.
Yeah.
Because we've been very lenient in our transition period, but because Prakash is a member, why doesn't it show, by the way, that he's a member?
Yeah. Prakash is a member. Yeah.
Unless he revoked his membership.
Oh. No, but he does send super chats, so
I know he does. In the MCU, he has to ask: is Stormbreaker even powerful than all Infinity Stones?
I think he's trying to ask: is it more powerful than all the Infinity Stones? No, I don't think it is.
No, not at all.
No, absolutely
not.
I think it's because of the one scene when Thor throws Stormbreaker and Thanos is like firing something at him, and Stormbreaker still goes through and hits him on the chest. Because at that point, Thanos has all the Infinity Stones. And he's like, he's done some like laser beam thing out of his arm. And Stormbreaker's like tumbling through the air. So,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or if you guys would want, there we go.
Yeah, that's what he's saying exactly. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, exactly. Okay.
That's what he's talking about, that scene.
Or we can let Austin go see Hitman's Bodyguard, and you and I, for members only, we could do a Avengers or Avengers Endgame watch party. because I'm in the mood to watch some sort of movie.
There you go.
So let us know in the comments.
I'll tell you what you probably can watch tonight. That Tomorrow War premieres tonight.
But it's July.
Tomorrow War. When does that premiere? Yeah.
It says July 2nd.
Which would be tomorrow tonight at midnight, I guess.
You guys know Amazon, right?
Oh my God!
They always put it out at 9.
It's premiering tonight. I'm so happy. Oh, I'm staying home. I'm staying home. I am so in love with this movie. I'm already all about it. All right, so your homework is you're gonna do a pre-recorded Hitman's Body Wife's. I can't even say it. Hitman's bodyguard's wife's,
uncle's, nephew's, cousin's, roommate.
So that'll be your review, and my review. God. We'll do pre-recorded reviews for each film. Okay.
Cool.
Jack, your homework is to I don't know.
Pick a show and watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do Quizzo.
That's
my homework.
Do Quizzo and promote.
Dude, I'm promoting. I'm like, dude, you guys want to check out my podcast? You're like, yeah, sure. You know. Yeah. But I still promote the hell out of it.
Hey, before we go, guys, we do want to share something with you. I wasn't gonna do this with them here, but we have been using these two systems, and our projection for 1 year, we've been around. September will be our 1 year, so we haven't even hit a year. Our projections are better than Film Junkie. Well, like our projection wise, I'm not talking about our numbers. We're projected to be in the category of Film Junkie, Poindexter Lounge, and we're already doing better than shows. I won't name them because that's very insulting. But we are doing really well, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so very much for tuning in each week. I know that, some days are harder than others, but we appreciate each and every single one of you for coming here, asking questions, engaging. I promise you one thing, no matter how big we get, each of you, no matter who it is, we will always engage you back.
Yes.
And that's the difference between us and them. So with that being said, that's all I have to say. And I'll let the hosts finish out the show.
Well, today it was a rainy day. It started off slow, but the comment section was on fire. I love that we got into freaking Starbucks at some point. Just went off that. I felt like a real podcast.
I still gotta rewatch this Bill Cosby thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was good. Yeah.
I still say save for next week. You never know.
No. I'll save it.
We're gonna save it. But guys, thank you so much. I can't believe. I feel like we just started the show. I mean, we kind of did, but it's been a month.
I know. So,
it's been a month, so we've done this is episode 12.
I'm so glad we did this.
Yeah,
I'm so glad. By the way, to anyone who I know Jack's gotta go, but to anyone wondering, when Jack pitched this idea to me, I said no at first.
Yes,
I did. I said no at first. But then they started explaining more and more, and I was like, you know what? I think we need more of this.
Yeah, we do.
So
and guys, are there things in pop culture you want to talk about? Obviously we look at what's trending: Britney Spears, Bill Cosby, but like other stuff that you want to talk about in pop culture. We're covering Marvel. We're covering DC. We're covering Star Wars. Other stuff is going on, man. There's other Fast 9. We had a lot of engagement on Tuesday. I didn't know some of you like Fast and Furious movies or even hate them. That's good. We want your hate. We will never shut you down for having an opinion different than ours. In fact, we want you to have a different opinion than ours. We want to engage you. So guys, email us at pop.culture.corner.2. Okay, whatever. It's written down there. Pop Culture Corner. Pop.culture corner.
I'm working on getting a John Campea. I know I said that name already today, but I'm working on getting a John Campea style website where you can submit tips and stuff like that. So if you want say you come across something that you really want to hear talked about, then you submit it. And I think there's like $1 fee. And that goes to 50 cents goes to the company, 50 cents goes to us. and then we, use one of your topics as one of the main topics of the day. Yeah. So if you guys but for now it's free.
Yeah.
For now it's free. So
just, and that website, that could be something cool for the website too. Just
exactly.
And the website's coming, baby.
The website's coming. We have so much coming. So if you'd like to get your topic on air or something that you want talked about, email us below here, and we'll get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. All right, guys. Make sure, keep in mind, next Friday, Black Widow. Please do not watch it at home. Go out to the theater. Yeah, we'll end it with the trailer, but make sure to do that. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, are we doing anything tomorrow? Awesome, Ty.
I'm sure there's going to be stuff this weekend. Obviously, it is July 4th weekend.
Oh, happy 4th of July!
To everybody watching. If you're in Canada, if you're some of our friends in Canada, happy Canada Day to you today. Guys, go and have a great weekend.
This weekend, we will be doing a podcast.
Yeah, we will be doing a podcast, and we may do some, other stuff, just depending, to have fun or whatever for celebration. But yeah, guys, thank you so much again. As we mentioned earlier, don't forget we've officially started. Today's the day, baby. Live in July has launched. All of your money, all of your donations, all your super chats, all your membership fees, it all goes to a great, phenomenal cause. So, guys, please get in on that. And don't forget to share with your friends, share the channel, let everybody know about our Live in July month. That is also such a massive help. Thank you guys so much.
Isn't a member.
Oh, he is now.
Oh, yeah, okay. So he said he lost his card. I was wondering why we lost.
Also, guys, make sure to join us because Austin needs a new leg. Right now, we just took like a bar stool broken, and just kind of stuck it in there. He lost his leg. Where it doesn't matter where he lost his leg, but he needs a new leg.
It's somewhere in Syria.
Yes. All right, guys.
We do it for you, and we do it for the culture.
Lived a lot of lives as an Avenger before I got this family. I made mistakes choosing between what the world wants you to be and who you are. We have to go back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
My girls are the toughest girls in the world.
I'm sorry. We had our orders and we played our rules.
It wasn't real.
It was real to me.